Yep. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Scott County Sports Network. Mike Ritchie along with the governor, Mark Walls, Kevin Ritchie. Dave Burgess running the camera for us tonight. We're at Scott County High School, Toyota Stadium on the campus of Georgetown College, Scott County. Region semifinal football action. They'll take on Bryan Station, two teams that know a bunch about each other, district rivals. Frank Parks brings his Bryan Station Defenders in with a record of 7-4. They defeated Tate's Creek last weekend 39-14 in opening round playoff action. Scott County head coach Jim McKee, pretty much commonplace. Scott County 10 wins, only one loss. That easy time last week with George Rogers Clark. That final score 48-0. Should be a good one here. Scott County, Bryan Station played early in the season. Scott County had a battle early. They come out and won the football game. The key thing in that football game, Scott County lost their number one player in Keith Guy, who's going to play tonight for the first time since. And Bryan Station lost one of their best players as well, Devin Key. So both players lost in that game here in Scott County earlier in the season. What we'll do is we'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll let the governor, he'll talk about team stats for both teams. We'll talk about the keys of the night's football game and much more. Should be a good one. Get you some popcorn, something to drink. Glad you could join us on the internet here on the Scott County Sports Network. We'll be back right after this.
Whitaker bank shot. I'll give you a Whitaker bank shot. All right. Here's a real Whitaker bank shot. Yes, sir. Here's the winning Whitaker bank shot. Nice shot.
Whitaker bank shot. Now, there's a Whitaker bank shot.
Come on, Coach.
I still got it.
Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky.
J&L Pharmacy and Home Medical Equipment, located on South Broadway in Georgetown, Kentucky, is locally owned and operated by Scott County native Philip Johnson. J&L Pharmacy can meet all your prescription and compounding needs, and they will match all local pharmacy prescription cash prices, guaranteed. They have a convenient drive-through window, offer free local delivery, and are open 6 days a week. J&L can also provide you with all your home medical needs, including home oxygen with 24-hour emergency service. Stop by the store or give them a call at 502-863-9823 for all your pharmacy needs. Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Regional semifinal action here, KHSS AA. 6A football playoff season is here. Scott County, as usual, at home in the second round of the playoffs. They'll take on the Defenders of Bryan Station. And, Mark, you've had a chance to look at it. Let's look at the season stats and compare team stats for both teams, both Scott County and Bryan Station.
Well, Mike, both teams are scoring well. Scott County averaging 46 a game. Bryan Station averaging 36 points a game. When you look at total offense per game, 442 yards a game for Scott County, 383 yards a game for Bryan Station. They get there a little bit differently as Scott County averages 349 rushing and only 92 in the air. Conversely, Bryan Station averages 172 rushing yards, but 211 passing. So Bryan Station likes to put the ball in the air. Scott County likes to grind it out on the ground. When you look at it, it's going to be kind of interesting to see because, Mike, back in the first game, we talked about it. Scott County won 40-24, but Bryan Station was really behind the eight ball with starting off. They had the safety, and then Scott County's defense did a tremendous job. They held Bryan Station to a total of 77 yards rushing. Just to give you a comparison, Andre Davis, the star quarterback, averages 77 yards rushing a game himself, but Scott County was able to limit them to 77 yards on the ground total offense. So I think tonight it's going to be interesting because it's going to be which defense can stand up and stop the other one. And if it turns into be the shootout that I expect tonight, the question is who makes the first mistake and gets behind.
And that's all we've seen with Scott County pretty much all season long with Scott County is pretty much at the shootout mentality. Basically, you're going to have to keep up with us. You're going to have to score with us, things of that nature. Be interesting tonight to see if Coach McKee goes for possession of the football, even if he wins the toss. But every game of Scott County this season, even up at Cincinnati Elder, when you look at the score, you say Scott County didn't have a shot, but really Scott County blinked twice there with that fumble, and after that, Elder actually made them pay. But other than that, they were right in the football game.
And you're exactly right. And in following that point up, Mike, I think the I think Bryan Station has more pressure on it because they generate more of their offense through the air. There is a chance for more mistakes putting the ball in the air this time of year. Now, it's a little odd with the weather we've had the last couple of weeks in November, but typically this time of year, you grind it out on the ground, and that's what Coach McKee likes to do, and that's why we've been so successful in the playoffs. All
righty, let's do this. Let's take another timeout. We'll come back. We'll get into the keys of the ball game tonight and do some individual comparisons. You're watching Scott County football exclusively on the Scott County Sports Network. We'll be back right after this.
Hi, I'm David Goldman with Georgetown Family Chiropractic. Are backaches and headaches a problem for you? They shouldn't be. Drugs and surgery may mask the pain, but seldom treat the underlying cause. Spinal decompression works to ease pressure between discs without injections and without surgery. Don't learn to live with the pain, and don't let it limit your lifestyle. Call us today for a free evaluation. 866-807-8611.
Hi, Dick Stockton here. I've been announcing sports for over 40 years, and I know a winning team when I see one. Greens Toyota of Lexington has what it takes to win, which is why Greens is Kentucky's #1 Toyota dealer 2 years running. Family owned for over 40 years, Greens strives to give excellent customer service and best value for the dollar. No matter what department, parts, service, or sales, Greens continues to move forward doing business the right way every day. Be a part of Greens' winning team. Greens Toyota. Great people, great cars. Think green.
The Shanghai Express Chinese Restaurant is a locally owned restaurant located in the Indian Acres Shopping Center in Georgetown, Kentucky. Tony would like to invite everyone to come on by and dine in the spacious dining room that can host groups both small and large. Shanghai Express has been voted the best Chinese restaurant in Georgetown, Kentucky multiple years in a row by the Georgetown News Graphic. Stop by the restaurant or give Tony a call at 502-868-6858 to enjoy the best Chinese food in Central Kentucky.
Sports Connection is your team and retail sporting goods and custom athletic apparel supplier. Sports Connection is located next to Kroger in the Washington Square Shopping Center in Georgetown. Sports Connection can outfit your team from hats to shoes and everything in between. Drop by or call Daryl, Scott, or Jessica at 502-570-0280. Sports Connection, a proud sponsor and athletic and sporting goods supplier to Scott County and Georgetown College athletics.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Mike Ritchie along with the Governor, Mark Walls. We're at Toyota Stadium, campus of Georgetown College. Scott County hosting Bryan Station in the region semifinal playoff action. And, Mark, we talked about team stats, but really when you look at it, Scott County's rushing up against Bryan Station's passing. But when you look at Scott County individually rushing, pretty impressive what Scott County year in, year out is able to do, rushing perspective.
You know, Mike, we've talked about it the last 4 or 5 years. Scott County just reloads in that backfield when you look at it. But a little different this year because the fullback has come back into prevalence with the injury to Keith Guy. Noah Hughes has stepped up, and they've really done a great job of relying on Noah. He's averaging 129 yards a game. He's got a total of 1,416 yards on the season with 12 TDs. Follow that up with Keith Guy, who's missed the last 3 games, averaging 91 yards a game, 817 yards for the season, 16 touchdowns. And then you got Kendrick Hamilton, averaging 70 yards a game, 766 on the year, and 13 TDs. That's the three-headed monster this year. And like I said, you got to throw Dylan Smith in there as he gets some carries as well. But, I mean, they just kind of reload and put somebody else in that slot. And been very, very successful. And that's the one thing that this time of year makes them effective is you can't afford to make a mistake on the other side and not score because Scott County, averaging 40-some points a game, has proven they're going to put the ball in the end zone. So you've got to be able to score or you got to figure out a way to stop them, and nobody's been able to do that this year.
And the thing about it is with Josh Davis, he doesn't run a lot, but here lately he's had some big runs for us, big third down runs. But you got to add that to the arsenal as well. Josh Davis at the quarterback spot picking up big yards for Scott County as well. But you go over and you look at Bryan Station, Mark, you look at them from a rushing perspective. They've got some rushers that are doing okay, but basically everything starts with the quarterback, and that's Andre Davis, both rushing and passing.
It starts and finishes. And, Mike, we talked a little bit about the last game. That's the one thing that Scott County was able to do in that game. They put a lot of pressure on him and had some sacks and blitzes, made him rush the ball. But the key thing that Scott County did was the fact that they did not let him get out of containment. They kept him pretty much behind the line of scrimmage, he didn't get the big long runs that he's capable of. He's going to make you pay with his feet or with his arm. You've got to get him in contained and make him a pocket passer if you're Scott County and Monty McIntyre tonight.
Yeah, you look at Andre Davis. He's got 133 rushing attempts for 772 yards. 10 TDs, averaging 80 yards a ball game. And then throwing, he's 149 for 243, 8 interceptions with 3 TDs as well from that spot. And the thing about it is 1,885 yards on the season. So he's averaging pretty much 200 yards in the air, 100 yards rushing, and you got to keep him in contain and understand where he is. And I think that's the key to the ball game for Scott County.
I agree. I fully think the pressure is going to be on the defense to keep him in front and basically do what they did the first game, Mike, which is make him a pocket passer. It's just a little harder for him to do that. Like I said, you get pressure on him, you make him rush it. You don't have to actually sack him, but just make him feel it and get rid of the ball quicker than he wants to.
Well, let's do this. Let's take another timeout. We'll do one more timeout. We'll come back. You're watching Scott County football. We're ready for kickoff. We'll come back for the Governor's keys to the ball game and much more here on the Scott County Sports Network. Back after this. Steve Skierman, agency manager at the Scott County Farm Bureau Insurance, would like you to know that as your local insurance agent, he is right here in your community, ready to help you with all your insurance needs. In the event of a loss, you can count on Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance to help you through it. We have local claims adjusters to serve you at your time of loss. We are knowledgeable about our community and can provide valuable assistance and advice when needed. Call the office today at 502-863-2454 for a free, no-obligation quote. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, big on commitment. Georgetown Community Hospital is a 75-bed acute care facility with an award-winning history providing excellence in health care. Georgetown has been named one of the best places to work in Kentucky for 5 of the last 6 years. The hospital continues to add new medical services and to grow the number of specialists and primary care physicians. It also features an award-winning ICU, medical surgery unit, and 24-hour emergency services. Georgetown Hospital, located on Lexington Road in Georgetown, Kentucky, here for your needs 24 hours a day. Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Scott County's football team getting set to run through the Frank Shoup helmet tunnel to entrance to the ball game. Get ready to go tonight. And Mark, before they come out, keys to the ball game for Scott County tonight.
Well, number one, Mike, I think offensively you got to protect the football. Just don't turn it over. Make Bryan Station beat you, but don't help them with turnovers. On the defensive side of the ball, we've already kind of touched on that. You've got to contain Andre Davis. You've got to make him a pocket passer. Don't let him beat you with both the feet and the arm. Make him be a pocket passer and try to beat you with the arm.
All righty, now Scott County, we talked about them on the Bryan Station side of things. You got the defeat Scott County threw on earlier in the season when Scott County handled them pretty soundly, 40-24. Bryan Station, a little bit mental, but a lot of physical. Your thoughts on the keys of the game for Bryan Station?
Number one, I think they've got to come out and score quick. They can't get behind. They've got to stay even, and they've got to limit their mistakes. Andre Davis has got a lot of pressure on him. I keep thinking of the baseball player, so I apologize to Mr. Davis.
Guy at heart.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of pressure on him tonight because they do have to score. Scott County, they can't afford to fall behind. So he does have a lot of pressure on his shoulders because he is the key that starts the engine. And on the defensive side, somehow you've got to figure out how to get a turnover.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, Mark, one of the X factors, let's keep this in mind. We'll set it over in the corner. Bryan Station goes for 2 quite a bit. So if they can keep scoring touchdown for touchdown with Scott County, that 2-point conversion that Bryan Station likes to do, that could come into play as well.
Well, it could. And the other thing, Mike, is in that first game, Bryan Station struggled a little bit on special teams. They cannot give up that kind of field position that they did with special teams to Scott County in the first game.
So Bryan Station set to kick off for Scott County, and probably the best thing if you're a Scott County fan, you hear Keith Guy's name called back deep for Scott County along with Dylan Smith. Dylan Smith's been very, very effective for Scott County. 7 returns for 203 yards and a touchdown. Keith Guy in for Simon Bond. Simon Bond's actually had a touchdown as well. But kicking off for Bryan Station is Terrence Murphy. He's had 5 touchbacks on the season. So pretty much a good chance for some live action as we start. And the ball goes to Dylan Smith at the 4-yard line. Dylan Smith straight up the gut. And that's what I like about Dylan Smith, Mark. He's straight up the gut. No left, no right, just straight up the middle.
Yeah, he did a nice job right there, Mike. I thought it was actually going to be able to bust it there for a minute. Bryan Station did a good job of closing the hole. But you're giving Scott County excellent field position as they're going to be out above their 30. So it's a great field position for them to start. going to let them open up the offense early.
You called it right there. Scott County coming up with a normal set. Josh Davis will be under center. Kendrick Hamilton, Keith Guy, and Noah Hughes are the skill players, along with Glenn Covington, who's out to the top of your screen. Kobe McKee over top the football. Josh Davis under center. Kendrick Hamilton on the motion. First play. No surprise, Mark. Noah Hughes
gets about 6.
On the tackle, you're going to hear his name a lot. Shane Preston. Shane Preston, Mark, 58.5 tackles, 11.5 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 1 interception. The 5'2", 200-pound senior, right in the middle of things for Bryan Station.
Yeah, good-looking football player.
Quick snap, left side, Keith Guy kind of trips, goes up to the 37-yard line. We're going to give the tackle. We're going to credit the tackle to number 20. That's going to be James Bryant. You know, and Bryan Station's got a lot of players, Mark, in that 50 to 60 tackle mark. James Bryant is one of those as well, who has 57.5 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and also an interception.
And Bryan Station's got speed, Mike. That's the one thing when you look across the Scott. This is an important third down for Bryan Station. If they can get the Scott County to force a punt right here, that would be tremendous for them.
Kendrick Hamilton met in the back.
Wow, and they're going to stop him for a loss, Mike.
Not the start Scott County wanted.
No, but if you're Bryan Station, you're feeling really good right now.
Javon Key, along with Quentin Glory on the tackle. No gain. It'll be 4th and 5. Cardinals. Back deep, Davis, along with
Josh Davis back to punt for Scott County. And he gets off a low kick. It's going to hit and bounce. Bryan Station picks it up. That's KC Carmichael. He's pretty much stopped right on his tracks. Looks like Noah Hughes was on the bottom of that pile, along with number 21 for Scott County, Bryce Lawson. Well, here comes the Bryan Station defender offense with Andre Davis, and they generally line up in the shotgun, and that's what it looks like they're going to do right here. They've got 3 to the bottom part of the screen and 1 wide at the top, spreading this offense out. And I apologize for not being able to see the numbers, but the fullback should be Devin Key, number 8 back there, along with Andre Davis, the quarterback. Davis going to drop, and he's going to throw, but he's going to run, and that's a nice job by Gavin Hernandez. But now he laterals the football, and that looks like Carmichael, and he's going to get stopped right back at the line of scrimmage. That was a nice play by Scott County. Davis kind of surprised everybody, that kind of lateraling the ball back. Scott County did a nice job of staying home and tackling him. He got back to the line of scrimmage. You just can't let them get out in the open field. You got to be able to kind of contain them. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the defenders.
Andre Davis under center. Excuse a quick handoff up the middle to Devin Key.
And that tackle is by Tyler Braxton, the middle linebacker for Scott County.
Gain of 5, 3rd and 5, defenders.
So 3rd down and 5 for Bryan Station.
Andre Davis back. He spins out, then he throws, and it's deflected. That's a nice job there by number 45, Bryce Fryman, in the game as the nickel, able to get his hands on it.
Broken up by Scott County's Bryce Fryman.
For Bryce Fryman.
It'll be 4th and 5.
Scott County.
Dylan Smith deep for the Cardinals.
And Mike, early, it's kind of surprised that we're talking about the 2 defenses start out the game better.
2 offensive sets.
Both of them go 3 and out.
So back to punt.
And we're going to have a penalty. It looks like illegal procedure, I think.
A penalty against the defenders for a delay of game.
And that right there, in the battle of field position, you just really don't want to give that extra 5 yards to Scott County if you're Bryan Station. There's movement again.
Flag on the play.
See what the call is here. And again, false start again. So that's another 5-yard penalty. Bryan Station keeps backing up. So what looked like a pretty good defensive stand to start the game, you picked up 5 yards offensively, and we're going to be able to punt the ball and maybe keep the field position of game neutral, has turned into you've already given Scott County 10 yards back on field position. Good snap, and that kick is off. Not a very good kick, and it's going to hit and roll back in towards Scott County and out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. Scott County going to be starting in Bryan Station territory. Not a very good deal. And we talked about special teams, Mike, that could come into play, and that's evident right there on the first punt attempt is Bryan Station. Not a very good kick right there.
And that's the thing about it. You know, we talked about defensive stops. Both teams had defensive stops. You take 2 back-to-back false start penalties and then a bad punt. Special teams is where Scott County's been able to distance themselves, especially with the teams in the Lexington area. If you want to put down on one thing, circle special teams. Scott County's excelled, and most of the teams in Lexington here lately, for some reason, have struggled. So Josh Davis, quick handoff up the middle to Noah Hughes. Noah Hughes, the Bulldog.
Wow, man, 8 yards.
Picks up a little over 8 yards.
And, Mike, watch this out here. You've got Glenn Covington, but you got Mahari Sturgis out here on an island by himself. Don't be surprised if they don't try to test that one-on-one battle, especially at this part of the field, because Scott County's got the confidence in their offense that they can afford to miss on a play and still pick up the first down.
Romel Crowley with the tackle. Quickly back to Noah Hughes again. Noah Hughes picks up 6. Make it 7. Noah Hughes gets a first down by himself with a little help of his offensive lineman. You get Trey Bender out there, Alex Miller, Colby McKee, the freshman Hudson. A good-looking offensive line. Again, Coach McKee doing a great job with Brian Hudson out there, Jesse Hamby, Colby McKee, Trey Bender, and Alex Miller. First down, Scott County. In motion, here's Keith Guy. They're going to go back to Noah Hughes, Mark. If you don't stop him, he's got 7, and this time he picks up 3.
Well, and what's going to happen?
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Alex Miller hobbling a little bit.
And Alex Miller said he's not coming out of the game. He's going to shake this off.
Devin Key with the tackle for Bryan Station. Held Noah Hughes to only a gain of 3. And again, they got to be careful right here. Alex Miller, you want to stay in the ball game, but at some point you got to make sure you're able to function, because they require a lot from their offensive linemen, getting to the spots, getting to the angles. Covington to the bottom of the screen. Keith Guy moving to the bottom of the screen in motion. Here's a quarterback keeper from Josh Davis, looking for a block from Glenn Covington and Josh Davis. Great job from Glenn Covington. Josh Davis, 25-yard scamper. And we talked about Josh Davis being able to run at the right time. And hats off to Glenn Covington with a great block downfield.
Well, you know, and like I said, he's the X factor, because you can't forget about him out there. He's a good athlete, big, strong, young kid. Runs well. I said, you just can't afford not to account for him, and he's the one guy that's unaccounted for.
So Alex Miller, the short snapper, Eric Abney holding for Tyler Dummer. Tyler Dummer on the season about as good as you can get, 63 of 69. And, Mark, since he's went to that half step, he probably hadn't missed one.
No. He had a little problem early with that long 2 steps, and you're right. Since he's gone there, he's been almost automatic.
All right, before we take our time out here, let's go ahead and look at this replay real quick. Scott County set up. You got Noah Hughes, the typical fullback. They're going to fake to him with Keith Guy in motion. So you can see it, Josh Davis with the snap. Fake to Hughes. Nobody's out there. And then you watch Glenn Covington about the 15-yard line keep contact with his man, and Josh Davis in untouched from 25. Great run, great call by Coach McKee. And Scott County up early, 7-0 with 7:33 to go here in the first quarter.
And, Mike, I know we've still got 7.5 minutes left in the first quarter, but this is a very important offensive possession for Bryan Station.
So Tyler Dummer, if you don't know who Tyler Dummer is, look for the guy with the yellow fluorescent shoes wearing number 29. And, again, Scott County, a little bit spoiled throughout the years, haven't they, Mark, in the last 10 years from their kicker.
Yeah, you just You just don't get any better than what they've had the last 12.
Now you got Palmer Ward. Was before Dummer. Dummer's kick is going to be picked at the 2-yard line. It's going to be Raphael Few. Raphael Few met by Braxton right at the 16.5-yard line. So Scott County keeps Bryan Station inside the 20-yard line. So anytime you can do that at any level of football on the kickoff, you say victory goes to the defense and the special teams for Scott County right there. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. Bryan Station has to answer here. They got Andre Davis in the backfield.
Well, Mike, and our mentor, Bill Needle, kind of taught us the business, said you want to try to make a high school team go 80 yards.
Yeah, one thing about it, Andre Davis faked the motion right there. It looked like a little option, but Jeremiah Happy said, not today on my watch.
Yeah.
Another tackle for loss for Jeremiah Happy. That's his 6th one on the season.
That's that zone read, and I'm not sure Mr. Davis made the right read.
Yep. So a loss of a yard, 2nd down and 11. 2 receivers on each side. Davis back to pass. And Scott County doing a good job of containing. They got a guy wide open deep. Raphael Few picks it up at the 38. Tackled by Cooper Robb. A good job by Andre Davis. He took the snap, Mark. Didn't take any steps backwards or anything. Just sat there waiting. Kind of looking at the read. Raphael Few picks it up at the 39. Gets topped off the 47 by Cooper Robb.
And Scott County did a nice job of keeping him contained, but they didn't get enough pressure on him. And he can make that kind of throw. So, again, you've got to keep pressure on Andre Davis. Don't necessarily have to sack him every time, but you've got to make him uncomfortable.
Andre Davis fakes the handoff, goes right side up the.
What a move.
Sprint rings it outside. Good job. Might have been a face mask.
No flag.
No call there, so he's going to get down to the 45-yard line. Pickup of 8. Andre Davis shows the talent that he has.
I know one thing. He left one Scott County Cardinal looking in the ground to see where he went.
So we hope Toby Murray's enjoying his bluegrass concert this week. We're trying to fill in. We'll never fill his shoes. But we got Dave Burgess in there helping us out this week. And on the handoff is K. Cy Carmichael.
Key, the ball carrier.
No, they say Devin Key, actually the carrier. He's going to pick up 5 yards, Mark. 1st down for Bryan Station. So, again, we talked about the key. You have to keep up with Scott County. When they score, you've got to score. Bryan Station has their 2nd first down. This one a little more traditional than that first one.
And they're in a rhythm. You know, they've been in a rhythm. Scott County's got to do something to disrupt that rhythm.
Andre Davis back. Here comes the blitzer. Hamilton, he rolls right. This pass intended for Few, out of bounds. And a good job by Kendrick Hamilton and Tyler Braxton, no hitting the quarterback out of bounds.
And again, that's what you want to do. You want to make him uncomfortable. They flushed him out of the pocket to the sideline, so they had an extra defender, just no place to go with the football.
So 2nd down and 10, 5:56 to go here in the first quarter. The winner of this football game takes on the winner of Lafayette and Henry Clay, who are playing up at Lafayette. If Lafayette happens to win, the winner of this ball game travels to Lafayette next week.
And there's breaking of containment. Davis is going to pick up the 1st down easy. Oh.
He's picked up and slammed to the turf by Scott County.
Keyshawn Brent.
But he picks up 20. Another 1st down for Andre Davis.
And that's one right there, Mike, where containment was lost. And that's what Andre Davis can do to you. He can get the pick up the yards with his feet as well as his arm. Made Scott County pay right there.
Yeah, Andre Davis, like we said earlier, 772 yards rushing on the season, 10 touchdowns. Very capable runner, very capable passer. That's what makes him, along with
they got a penalty right here. They're calling an illegal block below the waist on the wide receiver that was blocking downfield.
I think the thing there is that's one of those where I think he was engaged with somebody and they hit him low.
That was a big one. Do they not pick up the 1st down and then come back? I would have thought that would have been.
36, 2nd and 6.
So 2nd down and 6 after that. So that nullifies a nice run. Davis back. Quick pass out to number 12 for Bryan Station.
Terrence Murphy.
The punter. 6-foot sophomore. They're going to pick up about 8 yards, another first down. So the penalty did not hurt Bryan Station there. So 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. 29-yard line. Up the middle, Devin Key. Good to see him back. Don't want to see anybody not be able to play because of injury. And we talk about Andre Davis, but Mark, I think he's probably the most valuable player for Bryan Station offensively and defensively combined.
He does a lot of things for him, Mike, but like I said, the thing right there is he keeps the defense honest,
So 2nd down and 5, 24-yard line. Davis back to pass. Here comes Hamilton. Hamilton loses contain. And Davis wide open again at the 20. Goes
nice
back inside.
Nice cut back.
Add another one. He's going to go to the house. Cooper Robb trying to beat him to the pylon. He's tackled from behind. But a touchdown. 24-yard touchdown run. Andre Davis. And, Mark, all you can say on that one is you circle the word athleticism.
Yeah.
Anytime you can scamper from the right, back to the left, all the way back to the right and score, that takes a little bit of athleticism and a couple of good juke moves.
But if you remember, in the first game, he made that same move on Kendrick Hamilton once.
Mm-hmm.
Then Kendrick makes the adjustment and doesn't fall for that spin move and overcommit. Let's see if Kendrick Hamilton remembers that and keeps from overcommitting on that and keep him in front of him on the next play. And, Mike, they're going for the extra point. The kick.
Terrence Murphy in to kick. His kick is up, and it's no good. So the first bad play for.
And the extra point attempt by Asbury is no good.
And the reason we sound a little bit shocked at that move is they typically looks like they've been going for 2 most of the time, so we weren't anticipating to kick the extra point. We were looking for them to line up for 2.
And again, I apologize with the yellow numbers on white jerseys from 200 feet away. It's hard to tell, but actually that was Andrew Asbury. Bryan Station coming into the ballgame was only 14 of 22 on extra points. And Bryan Station, Mark, like we said, was able to answer. 4:54 to go. 7-6 your score. Scott County with a 1-point lead. We'll be back on the Scott County Sports Network.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoup in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
He's big on service and he's big on deals. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoup's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoup is gonna set the pace.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Terrence Murphy getting set to kick off for Bryan Station at the 40-yard line. Keith Guy, Dylan Smith back for Scott County. 4:54 to go. Scott County 7, Bryan Station 6. Here in high school football playoff action on the Scott County Sports Network. The left-footed kicker lets it go. A little bit of a pooch kick. It's going to bounce once. Picked up by Keith Guy. Straight up the gut is Keith Guy.
Oh.
He finds a hole but trips. Down at the 35-yard line, and Keith Guy not happy with that one.
No, he hits the ball against the turf for a very good reason. If he doesn't stumble, that one may have gone to the house.
So Scott County starts a possession 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. So far, Mark, it's been a battle of the quarterbacks running. Josh Davis scores on a 25-yard scamper. Andre Davis comes back and scores on a 24-yard run. The only difference, Tyler Dummer's kick good. Asbury's kick for Station no good, and that's the score, 7-6, 4:50 to go. Josh Davis with Keith Guy on the move. They give it to Noah Hughes up the middle, and the big man
follows
Mikhail
Alex
Horton.
Miller.
Mikhail Horton. Just 6'1", 300, Mark.
And Alex Miller's still down.
Alex Miller kind of struggled with the ankle the first time in the last series. Now he's down again. So what we'll do is we'll take a timeout. 4:36 to go. Scott County 7, Bryan Station 6, back here on the Scott County Sports Network after this.
Exchange Bank doesn't think you can get where you want to go by cutting corners, playing games, or sacrificing relationships. Roots take time to grow and give strength and stability. Since 1912, our banks and our people have been part of your community. And while our services continue to keep pace with your need for today's high-tech conveniences, we know that loyalty never grows old. You don't just need a bank, you need people. People's Exchange Bank. People serving people since 1912.
Whitaker bank shot. I'll give you a Whitaker bank shot. Here's a real Whitaker bank shot. Yes, sir. Here's the winning Whitaker bank shot. Nice shot.
Whitaker bank shot. Now, there's a Whitaker bank shot.
Come on, Coach Honey.
I still got it.
Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Alex Miller walks off the field in his own power, but you can tell he's hurting a little bit as he's talking to trainer Dan.
Hunter Solsky into the game, so let's see what Scott County does right here.
Josh Davis back to pass, the lefty. Looks at it, he's got a lot of running room over here out in front. Is the tight end for Scott County, Jordan Darnell. He picks up 14 and another first down for Scott County.
Man, when he rolled back, he just there wasn't anybody on this side of the field to cover. Just a great read.
So we're glad you could join us here tonight. Again, special shout out to Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery, Dr. Robert Henderson, Frank Shoup Chevrolet, and our good buddies Art Morvay, Lynn Reeves, better known this weekend as the Deer Hunters at Scott County Physical Therapy. Davis, quick handoff up the middle to Noah Hughes. He's got running room. Devin Keys behind him, but he drags him out for a 12-yard pickup, 1st and 10, Scott County.
Devin Keys holding on. Great run by Noah Hughes. He just drug him for about 7 yards.
So Scott County 1st and 10, just inside the Bryan Station 40-yard line. They'll call it the 40-yard line on the scoreboard. Davis under center. Gives it to Hughes again. Hughes around one person. Gets met 6 yards down the field. Coach McKee will take that all night long, won't he?
And that's a little trap block right there in the middle with center Colby McKee. And basically Noah's starting out to the right, cutting right back in the middle where that trap block's occurring. And there's nobody in the hole filling for Bryan Station.
So 2nd down and about 4 yards to go for Scott County. 3 minutes, 11 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Uncharacteristic. Scott County's usually called 1 or 2 timeouts by now, but they've got all 3 in their pocket. Josh Davis under center. Keith Guy in motion. Glenn Covington to the bottom of your screen. And there's another quarterback keeper, and this time
they were waiting.
Key says, look, you fooled me once.
And they're going to call a face mask right there.
Yeah, they're going to get a face mask penalty on Bryan Station. It's going to be number 4, Mahari Sturgis. It might have been accidental, but for safety reasons, they don't care.
Well, and that's true. And like I said, the thing that you want to do right there is you got to be under control. He was down, and I understand the excitement for everybody wanting to get in there and get part of the tackle. But, in the situation right there, you got to pull up because he's already down.
Yep, so we go for a 3-yard tackle for a loss by Devin Key. Instead, it's going to be 1st down and 10 for Scott County. At the 20-yard line. And Scott County, Mark, very dangerous on the season from the red zone, aren't they?
Well, yeah, they're running about 85-90% scoring in the red zone, and you just can't give them that kind of opportunity. That's self-inflicted.
So Scott County on the season, 50 of 56 from the red zone. So 1st and 10, Scott County. Josh Davis under center. Dylan Smith to the bottom of your screen in motion. They're going to fake the handoff up the middle to Noah Hughes. Give it to him. He's going to keep it, and he's going to get down to the 11-yard line. Another 1st down for Scott County, or at least it's going to be close.
Say 1st and goal.
Actually, they're outside the 10-yard line, so it looks like it's going to be 1st and 10, and we're going to get a flag.
That's going to be illegal participation by the head coach, I believe.
Hopefully it's going to be a sideline warning is what I'm going to say. Sideline warning, and again, warnings. What we got warnings for?
Well, I mean, he's, that's a little bit different because, he was out almost to the 15-yard line. He's not only out of the box, he's down the field. Very fortunate right there.
Be 2nd and 1, Scott County.
And that's the MO. You go out and read any sports blog, Bluegrass Preps or whatever, and everybody's always complaining about him being on the field. So, again, the officials taking care of that. So it'll be 2nd down and 1. Noah Hughes up the gut again. He's met by number 30 for Bryan Station.
And I'm not sure they really stopped him.
Andrew Asbury.
Tackle by Bryan.
They're going to say James Bryant, number 20. So it'll be first and goal at the 8-yard line for Scott County. And the thing about Noah Hughes, you got to think, whether he's got it or not, he's taking the same punishment.
He gets hit every time.
So Glenn Covington down at the bottom, Mahari Sturgis on him. Devin Key out, kind of spying a little bit. Keith Guy up the gut. It's going to get down to about the 7-yard line.
Nice cutback. Just good. Bryan Station pursuit was pretty good that time. And that's what you wonder about coming off the ankle injury, Mike, is going to be the planting and the cutting back. It's not going to be the sweep going one direction. It's when you try to plant and cut back against the grain as to how that ankle holds up.
Jamel Bell, the first contact from Bryan Station. So second down and goal. Noah Hughes up the middle, and he goes all the way down to about the 1-yard line.
And he doesn't get hit till he gets to the 3.
Preston with the tackle for Bryan Station. Shane Preston, a 5'10", 200-pound senior. He and Noah Hughes are going to be buddies before the night's over with as we go under a minute to go in the first quarter. Scott County 7, Bryan Station 6 here on the Scott County Sports Network. They're going to give Noah Hughes the 1-yard touchdown run. If he got in, he barely got in. I thought he might have slipped before he got in there, but they're going to say a 1-yard touchdown run. And it looks like Scott County's going to pull the trigger and go for 2 right here. So Scott County up 13-6. So they're going to say it's 4th down. The official over there called touchdown.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too.
So that's the confusion. So it'll be 4th down and 1.
Wow, big play here.
You got to be thinking Noah Hughes.
Yes, sir.
And there's a dose of Noah Hughes, and he gets the 1-yard touchdown. Scott County's Noah Hughes.
Actually might have scored twice on that series, Mike.
Second touchdown for Noah Hughes.
Tyler Dummer back in to try the extra point with that holding. And Alex Miller back in the game. Good to see him back in as the short snapper. And once again, Tyler Dummer making it 14-6. Scott County with at the end of the first quarter. We're going to take a break here. Go to commercial here at the end of the quarter. You're watching Scott County Cardinals football on the Scott County Sports Network.
Time for oral surgery. You need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Into the end zone goes the kick off the foot of Tyler Dummer. It'll be a touchdown, and the first play of the second quarter results in a touchback. Scott County with the lead mark 14-6. And again, Bryan Station has to answer.
Yeah, again, the pressure squarely back on, and you look back, how big was that face mask penalty when you had the Josh Davis stopped, and you end up giving a first down to Scott County at the 20, and we know what they do in the red zone. So, again, Andre Davis, excuse me, got too many Davises. But Andre Davis has got the pressure on him again as a leader of the offense. He's got to answer.
So Andre Davis in the shotgun, and Scott County a little anxious. Trey Bender, Tyler Braxton both offside, so it'll be a 5-yard penalty. Be 1st and 5, and not the start Scott County wanted. Mark, first quarter stats, what jumps out at you?
Well, Mike, 4 first downs for Bryan Station, 6 for Scott County, 40 yards rushing for Bryan Station, 97 for Scott County. Total offense 79-97, pretty close ball game. Penalties 3 for 27, 1 for 9 for Scott County. So again, penalties hurting Bryan Station in the first quarter.
So 1st down and 5. Andre Davis in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the bottom. Andre Davis with the snap, going to the lone receiver on the fly pattern. Good coverage there by Dylan Smith as the pass intended for Raphael Few. Incomplete.
Actually had a little bit of double coverage there. I think it's Eric Abney also back there. Interesting, don't really see Scott County. They must have seen something.
Yeah.
On
KC
film.
Carmichael was the intended receiver, not Raphael Few.
But I'm going to tell you what, Davis just threw that thing out there. Let's flip the wrist, man.
So 2nd down and 5. And you can do that, Mark, when you got 1st and 5. No big loss there. This time they're going to hand it off to Carmichael. Carmichael met at the 26. Going to be a flag. And Carmichael brought down at the 31-yard line.
And it looks like there's a Scott County player down.
That's going to be Daniel Perkins. That's the second Scott County player that's hobbled.
Face mask, Scott County.
Penalty against the Cardinals. Personal foul, face mask.
So that's going to be a 15-yard face mask penalty. The ball is going to come out to the 46-yard line. And again, Scott County 2 penalties on this drive. Penalties hurt more on the defensive side, don't they, Mark?
Yeah. If you're Scott County, you're just giving them great field position, and you're going to start it again as you jump again.
There they go again. About 3 players jumped off sides that time. So it's going to be 1st and 5 again.
Penalty against Scott County. Offside. Ball placed inside Scott County territory.
So that penalty gets the football inside of Scott County territory. 1st and 5 from the Scott County 49-yard line.
And Mike, they got trips to the bottom down here. Don't be surprised if they don't take a shot. No,
out
nice.
in the flat, good catch, good throw. On the catch is going to be Devin Key all the way down to the 14-yard line.
Nice job by Bryce Fryman. Got a pretty good stiff arm right in the face, able to still bring him down. But
and again, you want to say, what's the defense doing, especially the defensive backfield, but when you have that much time, it's hard to keep.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with them. And you got to give Andre Davis, he floated out to the right, brought enough time, and ends up with his receiver coming back to him.
So 11:20 to go here in the first half. Scott County defensive coordinator Monty McIntyre calls a timeout to get his defenders to regroup. We'll take a timeout as well. 14-6, Scott County with the lead. 11:20 to go first half. We'll be back on the Scott County Sports Network.
The Hawkinsmith Agency is proud to call Scott County home. We're your Main Street insurance that blends tradition and innovation to offer the best quality service to our clients. By offering a wide range of coverage from the impressive list of major insurance companies, we truly meet your insurance coverage needs. Come visit us at 224 East Main in Georgetown or online at hawkinsmithagency.com. The Hawkinsmith Agency, providing coverage for the Motorist Insurance Group for all your insurance needs.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. 1st and 10, Bryan Station, 14-yard line. Coach Monty McIntyre, a lot to talk with his defenders about during that timeout.
Yeah, they got to get back focused here. They've lost a little bit of discipline with the jumping, trying to get a quick start, got some offside penalties. It's really helped Bryan Station on this. And what it's done is it's taken the pressure off Bryan Station. You're 1st down and 5. Man, that gives you a lot of confidence.
There's 4 receivers out. They throw it up. In coverage, pass intended for Few. On the coverage, Eric Abney for Scott County. Pass a little bit high, but Scott County fortunate right there as well.
And you saw the difference in the rush from Kendrick Hamilton. He had a chance to come full bear on Andre Davis. He chopped his steps down to keep him in front because he didn't want to let him get out.
Second down and 10. Make it third down and 10. A loss of a yard. Devin Key on the carry. Good job by Scott County on that play.
Yeah, for the interior of the defensive line, Jeremiah Happy and Hernandez did a nice job right there stuffing that play.
So big play for Bryan Station. They're down 8, 14-6, 10:46 to go. Andre Davis with the play. Good
nice
catch.
Play.
Right at the end zone. Raphael Few on the coverage. Eric Abney. But on a slant play, if you let the pass guy get in front of the defender, and with the arm of Andre Davis, that was an easy throw and catch.
Yeah, and you got to give them credit. They made the play. He got the inside position, and Davis hit him right in the numbers. He didn't have to reach for it. So that makes it 14-12, and Station going for 2 here, Mike.
Bryan Station 3 defenders coming down to the bottom of your screen. Andre Davis with Carmichael in the backfield. Trey Bender spying a little bit, and a good job by Bryce Fryman right there. Receiver looked open, and Bryce Fryman did a good job of coverage, and the 2-point conversion is no good. So Scott County keeps the 2-point lead, 14-12, 10:40 to go here in the first half. Scott County up 14-12 back after this on the Scott County Sports Network.
Georgetown means great cars, great local sports, great people, and Galvin's, a great place where friends meet for great Galvin's food. Galvin's voted the best local restaurant in Georgetown. Enjoy a great specialty sandwich from Philly cheesesteaks to Strombolis. Bring the whole family. Watch the big games on the big screens. You'll watch the game. We'll make the munchies like our signature pizzas and home-cut potato chips. Galvin's on Main Street next to the courthouse. Join us on Facebook for all the latest Galvin's actions.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Mark, 10:40 to go. Bryan Station, unfortunately for the defenders, they've got themselves in a situation where they've kept up with Scott County score for score, but the special teams aspect of it, Scott County up 2 because of 2 missed extra point attempts for Bryan Station.
Yeah, like I said, that's going to end up playing big because at some point Bryan Station is going to have to get a stop. And when you look at the last game and what Scott County's been able to do here, with the exception of the first series for Scott County when Station was able to force them to punt 3 and out, Scott County's been able to do what they want to on offense.
So here's the kick from Murphy, a little bit of a squib kick. It's going to be picked up by Dylan Smith at the 21-yard line. Dylan Smith out to the 32. Scott County will start the possession 1st and 10 on the tackle for Bryan Station, number 20, James Bryant. Scott County very fortunate right there. Good job of pooch kicking. Got behind the second wave, and Dylan Smith had to pick that sucker up on the run. That's always dangerous.
Yeah, I thought Eric Abney was going to take it, but for some reason it's almost has been said if you've got to go backwards, you need to let the man come, and it almost reminds you of a baseball play when the outfielder's coming in, but a little surprised that Abney just didn't try to take that himself.
So Scott County starts the possession 1st and 10. Scott County, both teams stopped on their initial possession. Both teams have scored 2 touchdowns in their subsequent second and third possessions. So here's the carry. Kendrick Hamilton comes around to the bottom of the screen, in and out, tackled from behind by Marquise Smith. It's going to be a pickup of 4 yards.
It's a nice job of Kendrick Hamilton staying with his blocker right there. There wasn't much opening up in front, so he stayed with him as long as he could, trying to use him.
Hunter Solsky in for Alex Miller at the offensive line. Noah Hughes with the carry. He's going to pick up 3. That's going to make it 3rd and 3. Big offensive play coming up for Scott County as we go under 10 minutes to go here in the first half.
And Mike, Hunter Solsky's a 5'10", 267-pound junior. So
we haven't heard Glenn Covington's name called yet. Pretty much one-on-one coverage with Mahari Sturgis all night long. Keith Guy got a flag. Keith Guy goes down at about the 39-yard line. So the defense for Bryan Station, we'll have to see what that penalty is.
It looked like Kendrick Hamilton leaned a little bit. I'm not for sure if he was able to keep his balance long enough to make it look like he didn't start forward. They're going to call it illegal shift.
So illegal shift against Scott County. The question is, do you take that or not? I say not, because it would be 4th down and a long 3 yards.
They're going to take it, Mike. I'm going to find out if they know a little bit more than you do.
So that'll be a 5-yard penalty. It'll be 3rd down and a long 8 for Scott County.
Can you say tight end?
Josh Davis says, I've got the play. I'll let you know in a few seconds.
Going to be interesting right here. Big play for Bryan Station. Big, big play. Can their defense answer?
So 3rd down and 8. Josh Davis waiting his turn. He comes back for the pass. He's left-handed, rolling to the correct side. Throws it backwards behind Kendrick Hamilton just a little bit. And Devin Key almost. Referee's going to come in and say, look, I don't need that anymore. It almost turned out to be a slash.
Yeah, almost.
He hesitated, and the referee doing a good job right there.
Yeah.
Saying we don't need that anymore. If it happens again, he'll probably get called. But instead, good play by Devin Key and Bryan Station. 4th down and 9, Scott County.
Yeah, that was a nice piece of officiating right there because was it close to unsportsmanlike and taunting? Yes, but it wasn't. At the same time, it wasn't. So, like I said, good point. Good officiating right there.
So 9:08 to go here in the first half. Scott County getting set to punt. Bryan Station calls timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. You're watching Scott County football on the Scott County Sports Network. Steve Skierman, agency manager at the Scott County Farm Bureau Insurance, would like you to know that as your local insurance agent, he is right here in your community, ready to help you with all your insurance needs. In the event of a loss, you can count on Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance to help you through it. We have local claims adjusters to serve you at your time of loss. We are knowledgeable about our community and can provide valuable assistance and advice when needed. Call the office today at 502-863-2454 for a free, no-obligation quote. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, big on commitment. Georgetown Community Hospital is a 75-bed acute care facility with an award-winning history providing excellence in health care. Georgetown has been named one of the best places to work in Kentucky for 5 of the last 6 years. The hospital continues to add new medical services and to grow the number of Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Mike Ritchie along with the Governor, Mark Walls, Kevin Ritchie, David Burgess, the old man of the crew. Josh Davis with the punt. It hits it at the 42-yard line, gets a good bounce.
It's a great bounce, Mike.
Dylan Smith's going to run it all the way down.
To the 15.
And they're going to down it right at the 15-yard line. It's not how far you kick it in the air. It's where it stops rolling.
Kind of like Mr. Burgess' golf games. Not how you drive, it's how you putt.
Yep, and I got to give Mr. Burgess credit. He can hit the ball a long way off the tee. It's the other part of his game we've been working on here lately.
We're initiating a new cameraman in here, trying to make him feel like a part of the family.
Yeah, is that it?
All right, Mike, that was a big, big break for Scott County with that ball rolling to the 15. Kind of going to force Bryan Station to be a little bit more conservative, I would think.
Andre Davis says, not today.
Oh.
But Raphael Few has got to catch it first.
Yeah, wanted to run.
Davis's pass intended for Few is incomplete.
Now the advantage just switches to the defense at 2nd and 10.
So 2nd down and 10 coming up for Bryan Station. They find themselves down to Scott County, 14-12. Both teams have scored 2 touchdowns. 8:51 to go here in the first half. Great football weather, and we're going to get an official timeout. And they're going to say, hey, the play clock didn't start. And Josh Scott and his familiar "Who are we" chant. So they get the clock figured out. Davis swing pass and a good job defensively by Tyler Braxton for Scott County. Pass it complete to Devin Key.
You know, on that quick pass like that, Mike, if you're having to cut back at the same time you're trying to catch the football, you know the defense has done a pretty good job of reading the play. Big 3rd down right here because Scott County's got a chance to really flip field position.
So 2 receivers to each side for Andre Davis. He comes back. Scott County bringing pressure. Gavin Hernandez has him right at the end zone.
And they're going to break containment, Mike.
And Andre Davis is going to bring it out to the 28-yard line. It's going to be a little bit short. So now head coach Frank Park has the decision to make as well. It's going to be 4th down and about 2.5 yards.
I think you've got to punt the ball, Mike.
And again, that was almost a great athletic play. Scott County, Gavin Hernandez, Jeremiah Happy, Trey Bender, all of them had him right at the end zone, but he's able to get it out to the 23-yard line.
Excuse me, this is just good percentage football. You're in the game. It's 14-12. You cannot afford to give Scott County a short field if you went for it on 4th down.
So punting is Andrew Asbury. Good kick. Dylan Smith lets the ball bounce.
And they're going to get not quite as good a roll as Scott County, but.
And Scott County's defense right there was able to flip field position, so Scott County will have good field position. They'll start their possession 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line. 7:23 to go here in the first half. 14-12, Scott County with the lead, and more importantly right now, with the football. And, Mark, we had a great talk with Ryan Bartz. You talking about a guy that knows Scott County athletics.
Loves Scott County
athletics. He sat up here for 20 minutes. He gave us one-word definitions for Coach McKee, Mark. His one word was confident. When he talked about Scott County football, he just said the word strong come to mind. We asked him about football as well. We asked him about Billy Hicks, and his one word for Billy Hicks was win. And that shows you what Mr. Bartz knows, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's got that one pegged pretty good.
Yeah, we talked about Scott County boys basketball this year. His one word was young. Girls basketball, he talked about the red heat, the pressure. Coach Steve Helton, he said he was just plain out tough. We asked him some specifics on some of his favorite players. His favorite quarterback, I don't know if he was sucking up to head coach Jim McKee, but he said Clay McKee. A good answer. Favorite running back, some names we all are familiar with. Ted Saverna, graduated in 2005. Jimmy Warren in 2007. And Josh Walls, pretty good running back in his own right. Now working for the fire department here in Georgetown. Wide receiver, easy choice in his mind. I told him William Barber wasn't going to like that very much, but he chose Scotty Daniel as his favorite receiver of all time. Favorite defenders on the football field, Sam Payne, Jimmy Warren, and Jacob Van Meter. The most valuable player of Scott County's championship football team. His favorite basketball player of all time, Matt Walls. Defender on the basketball court, Jimmy Warren. Girls basketball offensively, said Rebecca Gray. Defensively, Chelsea Lyman.
That's Noah Hughes picking up about 5. And, Mike, it looked like the tackler was Markham.
They'll pick up a 5 yards for Noah Hughes. We're getting set to go under 7 minutes in the first half. And, again, it's always fun to set Ryan Bartz down. You can tell it's playoff season because he's really into it. He's a little bit nervous, but there's nobody that knows stats and Scott County football history and basketball history like Ryan Bartz. So 2nd down and a long 5. Let's make it 6. They're going to give it to Kendrick Hamilton around the left side. He's going to get the edge, and he's going to get knocked out of bounds at inside the 45-yard line. On the tackle is number 26, William Mitchell for Bryan Station.
That's just a great play call right there, Mike. Bryan Station kind of went with the first fake. Everybody kind of dove in, came back around, and Kendrick Hamilton had a lot of green space in front of him. Big possession here for the defense, Mike. You know, the pressure earlier was for the offense to match Scott County. Right now, Bryan Station needs to come up with a stop.
Noah Hughes up the middle. He's going to pick up 2.5 yards. On the tackle, number 34 in the mix for Bryan Station, Romel Crowley.
Tackle by Preston.
And Shane Preston.
Along with Crowley.
Pretty much, Mark, if you watch Bryan Station defensively and you don't know who the tackler is going to be and it's up the middle,
Crowley
it's Crowley or Preston. Let's just pick whichever one we want to. Because the way that they play, they're always in the middle of everything on the defensive end for Bryan Station. 2nd down and 8 coming up. Noah Hughes up the gut again. And he's run down from behind by Crowley and knocked to the ground by Preston.
Yeah, Mike, Kendrick Hamill sitting there saying, God, what are you hitting me for? I don't have the football.
So it's going to be a gain of about 2 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for Scott County. Big play right here, 5.5 minutes to go in the first half. And again, chance for Bryan Station's defense to get on the football back with 5.5 minutes to go. Scott County offensively doesn't want that to happen. So Josh Davis under center. Trying to draw them off sides. Good job by Bryan Station. They're going to go Keith Guy. He has the edge. And Keith Guy is going to get down to the 20-yard line. Down to the 16. Looked like the old Keith Guy that we're used to seeing. And there's a Bryan Station defender down on the field. It looks like he is really hurt. So we'll take a timeout. 5:09 to go. A big run by Scott County's Keith Guy gives them a first down in the red zone. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back. 5:09 to go. Scott County up 14-12 on the Scott County Sports Network.
Time for oral surgery. You need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Still tending to the Bryan Station defender. So what we'll do is we'll take another 30-second timeout. We'll come back. 5:09 to go. Scott County with the ball in the red zone, up 14-12 on the Scott County Sports Network.
I found it on the internet. It has to be true. Not all websites are trustworthy or secure. Drop by the Scott County Public Library to access free, trustworthy, secure databases for your school or college homework assignments. Don't forget, we offer free one-on-one computer help, too. Call the library or log on to www.scottpublib.org today.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Under 5 minutes to go. Scott County 1st and 10 in the red zone. Scott County 86% on the season once inside the red zone. Scott County very patient, trying to run the clock down a little bit. They're going to go with Keith Guy, or is that Kendrick Hamilton?
That's Kendrick Hamilton. Nice block.
Run his blockers and going to get knocked down by Shane Preston inside the 10-yard line.
I believe that's Trey Bender leading the charge. Yeah, big number 62. He took two Bryan Station defenders out. Able to free Kendrick up on that.
It's going to be 2nd down and 1 for Scott County right at the 10-yard line.
Gain of 9, 2nd and 1.
Noah Hughes with the football. And
Touchdown.
Noah Hughes into the end zone. 10-yard touchdown run. Scott County's Noah Hughes. 4:07 to go. Scott County 20, Bryan Station 12, and the extra point attempt coming up by Scott County's Tyler Dummer.
The play covered 9 yards, resulting in a Scott County touchdown.
And again, Scott County right there just trying to get that first down and get it 1st and goal. But when you give it to Noah Hughes, the way he's been running all season long, he'll get you 10 yards probably over 50% of the time here lately.
Well, and you had two successful sweep runs, two by Kendrick Hamilton and one big one by Keith Guy. So Bryan Station's got to be thinking, okay, they're going outside again, and then they pop Noah Hughes up the middle.
So 4:07 to go. Dummer's kick is good. 21-12 is your score. We'll come back for the final 4 minutes of the first half here on the Scott County Sports Network.
Community Hospital is a 75-bed acute care facility with an award-winning history providing excellence in health care. Georgetown has been named one of the best places to work in Kentucky for 5 of the last 6 years. The hospital continues to add new medical services and to grow the number of specialists and primary care physicians. It also features an award-winning ICU, medical surgery unit, and 24-hour emergency services. Georgetown Hospital, located on Lexington Road in Georgetown, Kentucky. Here for your needs 24 hours a day.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Scott County's Tyler Dummer getting set to kick off to Bryan Station's Raphael Few and Carmichael. And Mark, like you said, big possession offensively for Bryan Station, and even more importantly, defensively for Scott County, because Bryan Station gets the football to start the second half.
Yeah, if they can come out with some points right here to keep it close, then they basically get momentum going into the half, and they get the ball to start the second half. So big possession here for Bryan Station.
So the number kick is back into the end zone, and it'll be a 20-yard start for Bryan Station as Tyler Dummer, continuing 65 of 72 kickbacks on the season. And Mark, people don't really realize how much of a defensive advantage that gives you when you don't have to worry about that long kickoff return, especially with the speed of the athletes in the Lexington area.
You basically eliminated one facet of Bryan Station's game plan because they're fast runners. Their athletes don't get a chance to play off of that.
Brent and Braxton on the blitz for Scott County. Davis, nobody back there, so he just kind of throws it into the ground. Be second down and 10 for Bryan Station.
Pass intended for Key.
Here comes the back judge in again. I don't know if we're having trouble with the 25-second clock or what. They're going to say reset the game clock, I think. It says 3:51. They're going to say 4:02. It's just 11 seconds. I've seen worse than that in the pro game this year, about 3 times, to be honest with you. So here's the play. Second down and 10. Pass for few, and almost Dylan Smith. If he picks that up,
that's a pick six. Well, and here's the thing. Now you're 3rd and 10 and 3:58. You're going to give it. You've got to pick up this first down. They'll give the ball back to Scott County. You're looking at what could have been a great momentum swing for you, going down 2 scores before the half yourself.
So 3rd down and 10, Andre Davis in the shotgun. Back to pass. And up the middle, good tackle. Play by Trey Bender of Scott County. So it's going to be 4th down and about 9. They've got a punt right here. Scott County, Mark, going to have good field position and plenty of time here. Up 9, 21-12, and a chance to make it 16. And that could be a huge difference because, like we said earlier, Mark, Bryan Station with the football to start the second half. Do you go punt block here?
I set the return up if I'm Scott County because I'm going to have great field position. I wouldn't want to risk picking up a penalty of roughing the punter.
I don't want to run into Michael Horton, number 51. That's in the center of that punt. Protector. Dylan Smith, fair catch at the 47-yard line. Great field position for Scott County. 3:09 to go, so the clock, plenty of time for the Cardinals. They have a lead of 9, trying to make it 16 before the end of the half. So Scott County, hats off to the defense. Great job from the defensive backfield. And again, Mark, Coach Monty dialed a lot of pressure that time by his defense.
He wasn't going to let Andre Davis sit back there and get comfortable. And that's the one problem with the spread. If you don't pick up some positive yards on those first 2 possessions, it really puts you in a tough spot when it's 3rd and long at that part of the field.
So Josh Davis giving some words of encouragement to Noah Hughes. Keith Guy in the backfield, a little bit of disco move going on. Kendrick Hamilton in the wing spot. Glenn Covington, top of your screen. They're going to give it to Noah Hughes up the middle, and he's still on his feet. Spin move, and they can't bring him down, and finally takes about 4 of them at the 35-yard line. What a run for Scott County's Noah Hughes.
Tell you what, man, he's just put this team on his back, Mike, since the injury to Keith Guy, and it's not slowing up here in the playoffs.
Noah Hughes coming into the football game carrying it 210 times for 1,416 yards, 12 TDs. He's got 2 here tonight, averaging 129 yards a ball game from the fullback spot for Scott County. They're going to give it to Hamilton. Hamilton, a good stiff arm. Great block by Trey Bender, and Hamilton rode out of bounds. And they're going to call a flag. Kendrick Hamilton are going to call him with a push out of bounds. And I understand they want to keep control of the ball game, but that was a little chippy in my 2 cents. But
They didn't call up here and ask me my opinion, so I'm not going to give it anymore. But this is going to be a big penalty if it's against Scott County.
Yep.
And it is a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty. It's going to be after the play, so it'll still be first down. But instead of first down at the 22-yard line, actually it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 37. So they're going to mark it off from the 21. So it's going to be the 36. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. They still get the first down, so it's not a big deal there, but 15 yards here. Still plenty of time, 2:45 to go in the first half. But just 15 more yards to go for Scott County. Coach McKee trying to get his 2 cents in.
And if you're Scott County, you can look at this as and make a positive out of it, Mike. You can score and basically eat up the rest of the clock because it looked like you were potentially going to score and leave Bryan Station a chance to score. Right now, with 2:45 to go, you can pretty much try score and basically run out the clock.
So 1st down and 10, 36-yard line for Scott County. Josh Davis under center. They're going to give it to Noah Hughes. Noah Hughes, again, inside the 30-yard line to the 28. Pickup of 8. And I'll tell you what.
Why don't they just go move the football, Mike?
If Bryan Station cannot stop him and keep him from getting more than 5 yards a carry, I don't care what happens. They're not going to win this football game.
2nd and 2.
2nd down and 2 for Scott County.
And, Mike, the other thing about it, this defensive unit for Bryan Station has been on the field a lot this first half.
They're going to go Noah Hughes again. He's going to pick up the first down to the 22-yard line.
And again, Mike, that clock just run. Well, they actually stopped it to move the chains, but it should start back up.
Along with Key.
Floyd and Key on the tackle for Bryan Station.
5 and enough for a first down.
So you keep giving it to Mr. Hughes until they stop him. And they're going to say reset the 25-second clock. So the clock is moving. 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the first half. Scott County's moving as well. Ball down to the 22-yard line. In motion, Keith Guy. They're going to give it to Noah Hughes up the gut.
Wow.
And he's brought down from behind by number 2 for Bryan Station.
Mike, he almost looked surprised because when he hit the hole, there wasn't anybody there to hit him.
Andre Davis playing both ways. They're going to say Devon Key on the tackle. Excuse me. So, again, Noah Hughes is getting 5, 8, 10, 15 yards at a time. They're going to stop for a measurement as he picks up.
Mike, he had 65 yards at the end of the quarter, so you know he's well over 100, maybe approaching 150 in the first half.
So they're going to take time to measure it here. We'll see if Dave Burgess is as good as Toby Murray on the measurement. Toby Murray has never missed one yet.
Little bit of pressure on the new cameraman.
Looks like they're trying to decide if it's a first down or not. They're going to say it's first down and about an inch and a half. So it's going to be 2nd down for Scott County. And if you're Scott County, you probably like that because this is pretty much a free play right here. You got to keep your eye open. I know it's been one-on-one with Glenn Covington. A good opportunity right here to throw him the fade.
They're going Noah Hughes, Mike, with 1:47. He's going to try to just run this clock.
It'll be 2nd and short, Scott County.
It won't be the first time he's proven me wrong with the play call, but I would be surprised if Noah Hughes doesn't get the football.
So 2nd down and inches for Scott County. And the clock is running, 1:46 and counting.
And there's a fumble.
Fumble picked up by Scott County. We haven't seen a quarterback exchange problem in a while, but...
Can you say Cincinnati Elder?
Josh Davis recovers it. And now it's going to be 3rd down and 2.
Loss of 2. It'll be 3rd and 3, Scott County.
So 3rd down and make it 3 according to the spot. Josh Davis gives it up to Noah Hughes. Noah Hughes is going to be stopped about a half a yard short. So, again, a big decision right here by Coach McKee.
I think he's already made it, Mike.
Tackle by Preston.
Biggest part of this decision for him is he go wide with Keith Guy, or does he go up the middle again with Noah Hughes?
And the big thing about it, only one timeout left. It's 48 seconds to go, so he's going to run it down here. Be very patient. He's going to call a timeout as well at about probably 2 seconds left to go in the play clock. So they're going to get a timeout at 26.2 seconds to go. Scott County, 4th down and 2. Don't understand that play call right there. Again, you want to make sure there's not enough time if you don't get it. But, Mark, you also have to make sure there is enough time to score if you do get that first down. So we'll take a timeout. We'll come back and talk about it more. Scott County, 26.2 seconds to go. 4th and 2, up 21-12 against Bryan Station here on the Scott County Sports Network.
J&L Pharmacy and Home Medical Equipment, located on South Broadway in Georgetown, Kentucky, is locally owned and operated by Scott County native Philip Johnson. J&L Pharmacy can meet all your prescription and compounding needs, and they will match all local pharmacy prescription cash prices, guaranteed. They have a convenient drive-through window, offer free local delivery, and are open 6 days a week. J&L can also provide you with all your home medical needs, including home oxygen with 24-hour emergency service. Stop by the store or give them a call at 502-863-9823 for all your pharmacy needs.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Again, talking to the governor, Mark Walls. He's got it figured out, so we'll let him explain it to you as only he can. What's going to happen here, Mark?
I think they're going to run Noah Hughes and pick up the first down. Clock's going to stop. He's already got the second play called, and I think they're going to try to pass in the end zone. If he scores, he scores. If he doesn't, it's going to be incomplete. The clock will stop, and he'll bring Tyler Dummer on to kick a field goal.
There you go. We might as well go to halftime. 26.2 seconds to go. Big play right here, 4th and 2. Scott County trying to get the first down, keep their drive alive.
And there's going to have a penalty.
Flag on play.
And there's a penalty. It's going to be a dead ball, false start against Scott County. So now it'll be 4th and 7.
Now you're going to see Tyler Dummer, I believe. Yep, there's the shoes.
Yep. And again, the play call, Noah Hughes looked like he had the first down easily. So you had the first part of your novel was correct. So now Tyler Dummer is going to come in and attempt a 36-yard field goal. Tyler Dummer on the season, 4-7 in field goals.
We got a timeout here.
And Bryan Station is going to call a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. 23.7 seconds to go. Scott County. When we come back, Tyler Dummer attempting a 36-yard field goal here on the Scott County Sports Network.
Sports Connection is your team and retail sporting goods and custom athletic apparel supplier. Sports Connection is located next to Kroger in the Washington Square Shopping Center in Georgetown. Sports Connection can outfit your team from hats to shoes and everything in between. Drop by or call Daryl, Scott, or Jessica at 502-570-0280. Sports Connection, a proud sponsor and athletic and sporting goods supplier to Scott County and Georgetown College athletics.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. 23.7 seconds to go. Our team physician not in the building tonight. Don't know what's going on with him. And with all the extracurricular activity going on up here, we might need our team physician.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, all of a sudden, Coach McKee's decided to change his mind because he sends back his offensive unit, Mike.
So a little bit of gamesmanship going on here between Bryan Station and Scott County's coaching staff. One timeout left for Bryan Station, none for Scott County. 23.7 seconds to go on the clock. 4th down and 7 on the 19, and here you got to look for that pass, that fade pass to Glenn Covington. Now we got something going on with the play clock again, I think.
It didn't start.
No. There's no reason for it to start.
Well, the play clock should start, not the game clock. So Coach McKee's going to use the time to his advantage. He's going to have Keith Guy come over. And I think this is a decoy here move here to say, Bryan Station, I'm giving it to Keith Guy. He's going to stop to Glenn Covington. And what you might need to look for, Mark, Keith Guy, very good.
The wheel route.
The wheel pass route over the years. You remember the state championship game. You remember the playoff game last year where he made that one-handed catch, almost an exact replicate of the state championship one-handed grab that he made. Scott County's victory over Meade County in 2013. So here we go. Josh Davis on the roll. Josh Davis is going to pick up the first down. He's going to stay and get knocked out of bounds at the 10-yard line. So 18.3 seconds to go. Josh Davis, we talked about him being a sneaky runner. He's had 2 big plays for Scott County. One, a 25-yard touchdown run, and here a big pickup of about 9.5 yards for a first down for Scott County.
And if you're Bryan Station, you're sitting here thinking, I got a chance to dodge a bullet. They don't score, and you let them pick up the first down.
So Scott County was able to come back from that exchange between the center and the quarterback. Also the 5-yard false start penalty. 18.3 seconds to go. A couple shots here. No timeout. They're going to give it to Keith Guy. He's got to go and get out of bounds. He didn't do it.
And they're trying to get him lined back up as Coach McKee. I'm not for sure if they're going to have enough time here to spike the football.
So 3 seconds to go. Josh Davis does spike it, and the clock stops at 1.3 seconds, and you're probably going to see Tyler Dummer. So this last 27 seconds is taking about 17 minutes. So they're going to go one more play. Is it going to be a field goal? Are they going to go for it first and goal at the 11-yard line? Or, excuse me, at the 8-yard line. They're going to go for it.
Wow.
So Josh Davis with the snap. He's going to throw a fade route up to Glenn Covington, and the pass is intercepted.
That's a live ball. That is a live ball. Can you say Auburn, Alabama?
No, too many words. I can
nice
say Trey
play
Bender, though.
Right there by Trey Bender.
So the interception by number 20 for Bryan Station, James Bryant, on the fade pass up in the air to Glenn Covington. So a lot of noise. Bryan Station dodges a bullet. Scott County will go into halftime up 21-9 here on the Scott County Sports Network. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. The Governor will have first half stats and much more when we return after this timeout.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoup in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
He's big on service and he's big on deals. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoup's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoup is gonna set the pace.
Georgetown means great cars, great local sports, great people, and Galvin's, a great place where friends meet for great Galvin's food. Galvin's voted the best local restaurant in Georgetown. Enjoy a great specialty sandwich from Philly cheesesteaks to strombolis. Bring the whole family. Watch the big games on the big screens. You'll watch the game. We'll make the munchies like our signature pizzas and home-cut potato chips. Galvin's on Main Street next to the courthouse. Join us on Facebook for all the latest Galvin's.
Hi, Dick Stockton here. I've been announcing sports for over 40 years, and I know a winning team when I see one. Greens Toyota of Lexington has what it takes to win, which is why Greens is Kentucky's #1 Toyota dealer 2 years running. Family owned for over 40 years, Greens strives to give excellent customer service and best value for the dollar. No matter what department, parts, service, or sales, Greens continues to move forward doing business the right way every day. Be a part of Greens' winning team. Greens Toyota. Great people, great cars. Think green.
Oh, I do think I was yelling there for a left.
The Shanghai Express Chinese restaurant is a locally owned restaurant located in the Indian Acres Shopping Center in Georgetown, Kentucky. Tony would like to invite everyone to come on by and dine in the spacious dining room that can host groups both small and large. Shanghai Express has been voted the best Chinese restaurant in Georgetown, Kentucky multiple years in a row by the Georgetown News Graphic. Stop by the restaurant or give Tony a call at 502-868-6858 to enjoy the best Chinese food in Central Kentucky.
Sports Connection is your team and retail sporting goods and custom athletic apparel supplier. Sports Connection is located next to Kroger in the Washington Square Shopping Center in Georgetown. Sports Connection can outfit your team from hats to shoes and everything in between. Drop by or call Daryl, Scott, or Jessica at 502-570-0280. Sports Connection, a proud sponsor and athletic and sporting goods supplier to Scott County and Georgetown College athletics.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Mike Ritchie along with the Governor, Mark Walls, Kevin Ritchie, David Burgess. At the half, Scott County 21-12 over Bryan Station. First, we'll do the scoring summary. Scott County on the board first, 7:33 to go in the first quarter. Josh Davis, quarterback keeper, 25-yard touchdown run. Tyler Dummer with the kick, 4 plays, 43 yards. 1:31 seconds off the clock. Scott County up 7-0. 4:54, Bryan Station comes back. Andre Davis showing Josh Davis what he can do is he has a 24-yard touchdown run. Asbury's kick fails. 8 plays, 83 yards. Very impressive drive for Bryan Station. 2 minutes, 33 seconds off the clock. Scott County 7, Bryan Station 6. Last play of the first quarter, Scott County's Noah Hughes. 1-yard touchdown run. 11 plays, 66 yards, 4:50 off the clock. Dummer's kick is good. 14-6, Scott County. 10:40 to go in the first half. Bryan Station's Raphael Few catches a slant pass from Andre Davis. The pass travels 16 yards. The 2-point conversion pass from Davis fails. Bryan Station scores on a 6-play, 80-yard drive. 1 minute, 20 seconds off the clock. 14-12, Scott County. Scott County scored last in the half at the 4:07 mark. Noah Hughes a 9-yard touchdown run. 7 plays, 63 yards. 3:16 off the clock. Dummer's kick is good. Scott County with your score at half. 21-12 over Bryan Station. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back to Governor. He'll talk about team stats and individual stats and much more here on the Scott County Sports Network. Back after this.
Time for oral surgery. You need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Time for oral surgery. You need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. You're watching Scott County Cardinals football 6A playoffs. At halftime, it's Scott County 21, visiting Bryan Station 12. Looking at the team stats for the first half. First for the Bryan Station Defenders, this 12 points. They have 8 first downs. They have 54 yards on 11 rushes. They have total of 90 yards on 5 of 12 completions in the air. Total offense, 144 yards. They have 1 punt return for 4 yards. They have 1 kick return for 15. They do have an interception return of 40. They have punted 3 times for an average of 28 yards. They have 3 penalties for 27 yards. They've possessed the football for a total of 7 minutes and 28 seconds. The big key on third downs, they're only 1 of 5, and they're 1 of 1 on their red zone chances. Scott County, 21 points at halftime. They have 13 first downs for the game, 36 rushes for a total of 231 yards. They have 3 pass attempts and 1 interception. Total offensive plays, 39 for 231 yards. They have 3 kickoff returns for 60 yards. They have 2 punt returns for 42 yards. They have lost 1 fumble. When you look at penalties, I'm sorry, they had 1 fumble, but they regained it. They did not lose it. Penalties, they have had 7 for 59 yards. The big one was that last personal foul as they were down in the red zone that put them back out right before halftime. Possession time, a little over 13 minutes. Third down conversions, not your normal Scott County. They're 1 of 6 for the first half. They are 2 of 2 of fourth down, and they're 2 of 2 in the red zone. We'll take another break to say thank you to our sponsors. You're watching the Scott County Cardinals football on the Scott County Sports Network.
Hi, I'm David Goldman with Georgetown Family Chiropractic. Are backaches and headaches a problem for you? They shouldn't be. Drugs and surgery may mask the pain, but seldom treat the underlying cause. Spinal decompression works to ease pressure between discs without injections and without surgery. Don't learn to live with the pain, and don't let it limit your lifestyle. Call us today for a free evaluation. 866-807-8611.
Hi, Dick Stockton here. I've been announcing sports for over 40 years, and I know a winning team when I see one. Greens Toyota of Lexington has what it takes to win, which is why Greens is Kentucky's #1 Toyota dealer 2 years running. Family owned for over 40 years, Greens strives to give excellent customer service and best value for the dollar. No matter what department, parts, service, or sales, Greens continues to move forward doing business the right way every day. Be a part of Greens' winning team. Greens Toyota. Great people, great cars. Think green.
Whitaker bank shot. I'll give you a Whitaker bank shot. All right. Here's a real Whitaker bank shot. Yes, sir. Here's a winning Whitaker bank shot. Nice shot.
Whitaker bank shot. Now, there's a Whitaker bank shot.
Come on, Coach Honey.
I still got it.
Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky.
J&L Pharmacy and Home Medical Equipment, located on South Broadway in Georgetown, Kentucky, is locally owned and operated by Scott County native Philip Johnson. J&L Pharmacy can meet all your prescription and compounding needs, and they will match all local pharmacy prescription cash prices, guaranteed. They have a convenient drive-through window, offer free local delivery, and are open 6 days a week. J&L can also provide you with all your home medical needs, including home oxygen with 24-hour emergency service. Stop by the store or give them a call at 502-863-9823 for all your pharmacy needs.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network as we continue here at halftime with your Scott County Cardinals leading 21-12 over the visiting Defenders of Bryan Station. Looking at individual stats for the first half, first for the visitors of Bryan Station, Andre Davis had 5 carries for a net yards of 41 yards, 1 TD, averaging a little over 8 yards a carry. Devon Key had 6 carries for a net of 13 yards, averaging 2.2 yards. Andre Davis was 5 of 12 for 90 yards with 1 TD in the first half. Raphael Few had 3 receptions for 55 yards and 1 TD. Devon Key had 2 receptions for a total of 35 yards. Punting, Andrew Asbury had 3 for a total of 83 yards, averaged almost 28 yards a punt. Punt returns, KC Carmichael had 1 return for 4 yards. On kick returns, Raphael Few had 1 return for 15 yards. On the defensive side of the ball, Devon Key had a total of 6.5 tackles, 1.5 for loss. Shane Preston had a total of 6 tackles for the first half. Romel Crowley had 4.5, and James Bryan had 4 tackles for the Defenders. Looking at your Scott County Cardinals, led in rushing by Noah Hughes, 22 carries in the first half for a total of 126 yards, 2 TDs, averaging almost 6 yards a carry from the fullback spot. Kendrick Hamilton had 5 carries for a total of 39 yards, averaging almost 8 yards a carry. Josh Davis had 5 carries for 38 yards, 1 TD, averaging almost 8 yards a carry. And then Keith Guy had 4 carries for a total of 28 yards and averaging 7 yards a carry. Josh Davis 0 for 3 with 1 pick in the first half. Punting, Josh Davis had 2 punts, abnormal for him in Scott County this year, but he did average 42 yards with the long of 52 when he pinned them back on the 15. Kick returns, Dylan Smith had 2 for 38 yards. Keith Guy had 1 for 22. On the defensive side of the ball for the Cardinals, Trey Bender had 4 tackles. Bryce Fryman had 2 tackles. Keyshawn Brent had 2 tackles, and Kendrick Hamilton had 2 tackles. That's your individual stats here at the first half of the 6A playoff football between your Scott County Cardinals and the Bryan Station Defenders. We'll be back after this brief message from our sponsors. You're watching Scott County Cardinal football on the Scott County Sports Network.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoup in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
He's big on service and he's big on deals. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoup's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoup is gonna set the pace.
Georgetown means great cars, great local sports, great people, and Galvin's, a great place where friends meet for great Galvin's food. Galvin's voted the best local restaurant in Georgetown. Enjoy a great specialty sandwich from Philly cheesesteaks to Strombolis. Bring the whole family. Watch the big games on the big screens. You'll watch the game. We'll make the munchies like our signature pizzas and home-cut potato chips. Galvin's on Main Street next to the courthouse. Join us on Facebook for all the latest Galvin's.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoup in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
He's big on service and he's big on deals. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoup's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoup is gonna set the pace.
Georgetown means great cars, great local sports, great people, and Galvin's, a great place where friends meet for great Galvin's food. Galvin's voted the best local restaurant in Georgetown. Enjoy a great specialty sandwich from Philly cheesesteaks to Strombolis. Bring the whole family. Watch the big games on the big screens. You'll watch the game. We'll make the munchies like our signature pizzas and home-cut potato chips. Galvin's on Main Street next to the courthouse. Join us on Facebook for all the latest Galvin's.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Mike Ritchie along with the Governor, Mark Walls, Dave Burgess. Running the camera for us tonight, Kevin Ritchie. Computer controls as always. Scott County 21, Bryan Station 12. Both teams come out defensively, made a stop on each team's first possession. Scott County, Bryan Station then came back and scored both times. Both teams scored on back-to-back possessions. The only difference, Scott County was able to convert their extra point attempts. Bryan Station missed the extra point on the first time, failed on the 2-point conversion the second time. Then Scott County was able to tack on a 9-yard touchdown run from Noah Hughes to get us to our halftime score of 21-12. So, Mark, you've talked about the first half team stats, the first half individual stats, but now our viewers want to listen to you. What's your keys to the football game for Bryan Station in the second half?
Well, I think Bryan Station has to score on his first possession, and that's easy for me to say, but they just cannot afford. They've got to keep this football game close. They've got to take this opening possession and tell Scott County that we're here to play football. This game isn't over. They don't do that, Mike, and they give Scott County a chance to go down and put points up. I don't think Bryan Station can make that comeback. They score on this first possession, then I think they're going to make a football game of it, and this thing will go to the end of the game. The interesting thing for Scott County, conversely, is you just flip it. If they can force a 3-and-out on this first possession, I think they can control the second half.
So, Mark, the question I have for you is, in Bryan Station's last offensive possession, Coach Monty McIntyre said he wasn't going to give Andre Davis time to pick him apart. He brought a lot of pressure. Do you see Scott County following that same MO in the second half?
Yeah, I do not think that they are going to allow Andre Davis to sit back there and get comfortable in the pocket. I think they want to blitz him. Now, the key is, and I think the adjustment was there at the end of the first half, when you saw Kendrick Hamilton blitz, but he pulled up to make sure that he didn't overcommit and he kept Andre Davis in front of him. I think you're going to see more of a contained blitz where they try to make him think, does he have an opening or not, but they are not going to let him get wide and spin on him and spin out to where he picks up positive yards with his feet.
So in other games around the area, the one most important to all of our viewers, Lafayette leading Henry Clay 21-7 at halftime. And looking at the game situation for next week, the winner of this ball game will play at Lafayette if Lafayette holds on to beat Henry Clay. If Henry Clay is able to come back and win that football game, if Scott County were able to win tonight, they will host the regional championship game. If Bryan Station were able to win, they would still travel. They would host Henry Clay next week. So Henry Clay will be a visitor if they win tonight. And Scott County hoping that Henry Clay can pull it off and they can beat Bryan Station, because then they host the regional championship. And one thing we've known, Scott County, very tough to beat at home in the playoffs, aren't they, Mark?
Yeah, they really are, Mike. Like I said, that ground game just makes it really tough to come in here and try to eke out a win this time of year at Toyota Stadium.
All righty, we'll do this. We've got about a minute and a half to go before kickoff. We'll take our final timeout. We'll come back for the start of the second half. You're watching KHSAA Class 6A Region Semifinal action here on the Scott County Sports Network. At the half, Scott County 21, Bryan Station 12. Back after this.
The Hockensmith Agency is proud to call Scott County home. We're your Main Street insurance that blends tradition and innovation to offer the best quality service to our clients. By offering a wide range of coverage from the impressive list of major insurance companies, we truly meet your insurance coverage needs. Come visit us at 224 East Main in Georgetown or online at HockensmithAgency.com. The Hockensmith Agency, providing coverage for the Motorist Insurance Group for all your insurance needs.
People's Exchange Bank doesn't think you can get where you want to go by cutting corners, playing games, or sacrificing relationships. Roots take time to grow and give strength and stability. Since 1912, our banks and our people have been part of your community. And while our services continue to keep pace with your need for today's high-tech conveniences, we know that loyalty never grows old. You don't just need a bank, you need people. People's Exchange Bank. People serving people since 1912.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Tyler Dummer getting set to kick off for Scott County. He's out there with the neon yellow shoes. Bryan Station will have the football. Mark, another game of importance. Trinity 20, St. X 0.
Wow.
At Papa John Stadium. So Trinity, they got to go through Mail. Mail's already beat them pretty handily this year, but that's the only loss of the season for Trinity. But Mark, the Mail Bulldogs, they're tough, aren't they?
Well, they really are, and like I said, they've really turned that football program around the last 3 years, in Louisville. And like I said, that's a big game on the other side. As you kind of hope they beat themselves up coming through the playoffs if you're Scott County. Or anybody else on this side. I'm sorry, Mike.
So starting the third quarter, Scott County up 9, 21-12. A big possession for Bryan Station. A big possession for Scott County defensively. And Tyler Dummer with the kick from the 40-yard line. He's going to go back and is going to go into the end zone. A touchback is Tyler Dummer. He's had 3 of 4 tonight. Touchbacks. Bryan Station starts the possession 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Andre Davis coming out, the field general for the Defenders. You got Raphael Few. Terrence Murphy to the bottom of your screen. Devin Key to the left of Andre Davis. 2 receivers to the top of your screen. Didn't get their numbers. Andre Davis back to pass. Scott County very patient. Over the middle, Devin Key is open. Mark, look up. How many times do you see
offensive lineman
that converts over to play middle linebacker covering Devin Key step for step? Then we talked about Trey Bender. He's kind of brought the energy. Whichever side of the ball he's on, he brings energy to Scott County's offense and Scott County's defense.
Yeah, and you got to remember when he first started playing defense early in the year, he was playing defensive tackle. So he's now backed up to play linebacker.
Quick hitch outside is complete to Bryan Station. They're going to say the catch is good at about the 24.5-yard line.
Big third down here.
Casey Carmichael with the catch. Dylan Smith right there for Scott County to keep it to a short gain. 3rd down and 5 for Bryan Station. Andre Davis looking to run. Scott County doing a good job of contain, and they bring him down for a 2-yard loss. Trey Bender is there along with a little help from his friends. Tyler Braxton.
And Mike, they're putting just enough pressure on Andre to make him get happy feet. He really wasn't as pressured as it appeared to be or felt like. And I'm not trying to diminish what he's feeling at quarterback, because obviously he's feeling some pressure, but they forced him to the short side of the field pretty quick, and he did a nice job of at least getting back to the line of scrimmage.
And the big thing they're doing is they're going at him very controlled, about 70%, so he isn't able to do that juke move that we saw a couple times on that touchdown run, to where his quickness can get you off balance. Asbury with the punt. Scott County right there. 4 guys barely miss it. Dylan Smith with the fair catch over the shoulder.
Wow.
Willie Mays style. So it'll be Scott County. Flip the field. Scott County 1st and 10, 44-yard line. And right here, Scott County, a chance to make a statement. Already up 9.
Yeah, and like I said, that was a big possession. Not the way Bryan Station wanted to or needed to start this second half. They needed to push that ball down the field and put some points on the board.
So Bryan Station's going to go lineman Marquise Smith, number 55. Michael Horton, the 6'1", 300-pounder, nose guard. Christian Goggins, number 52. Along with number 10, Quentin Floyd. Your lineman for Bryan Station. Scott County in the normal offensive set. Josh Davis handoff up the middle to Noah Hughes. Noah Hughes is going to pick up 2. And you got to say a success mentally if you're Bryan Station to keep Noah Hughes in that fullback dive to only 2 yards on first down. Second down and 8. 1 pass attempt of the night for Scott County. That pass was picked off at halftime in the end zone, intended for Glenn Covington. 21-12 is your score. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Handoff to Keith Guy. Keith Guy looking and pointing for blockers. Jordan Darnell doing a great job, and Keith Guy head down. He gets into the red zone. Devin Key.
I think Keith Guy
on the tackle, along with number 26. Make it number 28. Theo Overton and William Mitchell. A flag on the play. They're going to get false start.
Wow,
Scott County
back.
Flag on the play.
Well, if you were concerned about the ankle of Keith Guy, that run kind of put any concerns to rest.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 14 after the penalty against Scott County. And they'll probably have to adjust the clock, I would say, Mark. Since it was a false start penalty, it should have been a dead ball.
Scott County for a false start. Ball placed at the 41.
So it'll be 2nd down and 14 from the 41-yard line. Clock is moving. Glenn Covington listening to Josh Davis get the play from Coach McKee. Scott County, great numbers again, don't they, Mark, in the program? When you look down, compare sideline to sideline.
Oh, yeah.
Scott County players almost shoulder to shoulder from the 35 to the 25. Inside handoff to Keith Guy.
Nice
perfectly
job.
by Bryan Station.
They were ready for that, Mike. Hadn't run that inside handoff, but you could tell they've done a pretty good job of scouting it, because
Shane Preston on the tackle.
It's going to be 3rd and long.
Yeah. 3rd and 13. Mark, here's where I say watch for the fullback.
Watch for the fullback or for the tight end?
I'm going to let you decide. I'm just throwing a hint out there to you. 8:54 to go. The score still remains 21-12. Bryan Station stopped on their first possession. Scott County, a big 3rd down coming up here. Bryan Station hope to return the favor. Keith Guy has it.
Ooh.
And tackled on that ankle. And a good play by Bryan Station. Number 26, William Mitchell.
Guy, the ball carrier.
That'll be 4th down. That'll bring Josh Davis in to punt for Scott County. It'll be 4th and 11.
Brings up 4th and 10, Scott County.
Good defense stand right there. So Bryan Station doing what they needed to do, Mike.
On the punt, Davis.
Punt return for Bryan Station. KC Carmichael. Davis with the punt. A line drive. Picked up by number 7 for Bryan Station. That's KC Carmichael.
Trey Bender.
And Trey Bender right there. Brings him down at the 15.5-yard line. Trey Bender.
And, Mike, to be honest with you, that was a smart play by Carmichael because he couldn't have let that ball roll. The way that was going, that would have been inside the 10. He had to take that gamble to protect field position. But once again, Bryan Station deep in their own end zone or deep in their own territory.
So 7:58 to go. Bryan Station, second possession of the second half here. Normal set for them. 2 wide receivers on each side. They hand it off to Devin Key. Devin Key picks up right at 10 yards, so to be close. We'll see if they give him a first down. The official says yes, it is. 1st and 10 for Bryan Station. Cooper Robb, the tackle for Scott County.
And, Mike, that run right there, keeps Scott County honest.
So Davis, good pressure by Tyler Braxton, Keyshawn Brent. Then he kind of hit to the tail of his lineman and fell down.
Man, he is elusive, though. He is elusive. I don't think he just didn't plan on his offensive lineman being in the way once he got.
Yep, Noah Kane in for Scott County's Daniel Perkins. Perkins kind of hobbled a little bit with a leg injury in the first half. Glad to see him back out there for Scott County. 2nd down, 14 for the defenders. Andre Davis hands it off to Devin Key. And Devin Key, Mark, didn't see the number, but I guarantee it was Trey Bender.
Yep. Man, hit about the same time he got the handoff.
Gain of about a quarter of a yard. 3rd down. And just like that, Bryan Station. The defense has stepped up here in the second half for both teams. All 3 possessions at this point, 3rd and long for both sides. Davis back to pass. He's got Few down the middle. He's going to go for him. Good closing by Eric Abney. He misjudges it. Few picks it up at the 34, and he's going to go to the house. It's going to be a 78-yard touchdown pass. And Mark, the disappointing thing right there, Eric Abney had good possession, good spot, but he kind of mistimed it. Ball gets over his head. 78-yard touchdown pass to Raphael Few on a 3rd and 13 play. Good defensive coverage. You could kind of see him open in the middle, but Eric Abney looked like he had great field position. Just kind of took a bad angle there at the last second. Not trying to be critical.
Well, and right here, Mike, they, big defensive play right here for Scott County if they can keep them from getting in the end zone here on this 2-point conversion.
2-point conversion makes it a 1-possession game, even if Scott County scores. So Andre Davis looking around, flings it in the end zone, is going to go out the back of the end zone. The 2-point conversion is no good. So Scott County dodges a little bit of the bullet. They're still up 3, 21-18, 6:22 to go in the 3rd quarter. Bryan Station, big play, 78-yard touchdown pass. Andre Davis to Raphael Few to cut the lead to 3. We'll be back on the Scott County Sports Network.
The Hawkinsmith Agency is proud to call Scott County home. We're your Main Street insurance that blends tradition and innovation to offer the best quality service to our clients. By offering a wide range of coverage from the impressive list of major insurance companies, we truly meet your insurance coverage needs. Come visit us at 224 East Main in Georgetown or online at hawkinsmithagency.com. The Hawkinsmith Agency, providing coverage for the Motorist Insurance Group for all your insurance needs.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Bryan Station, first team to score here in the second half. Big play variety. Andre Davis, a little bit of time. Raphael Few gets behind the Scott County defenders. 78-yard touchdown pass is the result. 2-point conversion is no good. Scott County 21. Bryan Station 18 here on the Scott County Sports Network. Keith Guy, Dylan Smith deep for Scott County. Getting set to kick off for Bryan Station. Number 12, Terrence Murphy. 5 touchbacks on the season.
Do you onside kick it here, Mr. Ritchie?
I'm thinking a pooch is coming up. On the carry for Scott County, number 21.
Bryce
Lawson, defensive back for Scott County.
You know, the one thing about that, you give up pretty decent field position when you do that, but you do take the big threat out of there of Keith Guy or Dylan Smith taking it long.
Well, when you look at it, Dylan Smith has returned 1 for a touchdown. Simon Bond has turned 1 for a touchdown. So you say 2 touchdowns on the season, you're giving up 17 yards. I say you kick it deep, take your chances. But what do I know? I'm up in the booth with Dave Burgess and you, right? So no comment from the governor. 6:16 to go, 21-18. I've never seen him speechless.
I'm trying to be professional.
And that was by choice.
I'm trying to be professional.
Noah Hughes, one-handed up the middle. Noah Hughes, 13 yards and a first down, Scott County. Scott County, one play. Now they're in Bryan Station territory, and they're going to have a holding penalty on Scott County.
Wow. Coach McKee not happy about that.
That's going to make it first down from the spot. It actually looks like it's going to be first down about 14 after they mark this sucker off. So they're going to move it back to the 33-yard line. 33. So it's going to be 14 yards. First and 14, Scott County. That Harrison County math coming back to help me out. And Mark, feeling the temperature out here tonight, I think summer is actually gone.
It feels like it's gone. It is football weather tonight.
First down 14, under 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Scott County 21, Bryan Station 18. Noah Hughes with the football up the middle. He's going to pick up 3 yards, and the Bryan Station fans a little bit happy. And it's going to be second down and 11. Devin Key on the tackle for Bryan Station.
Yeah, this is because they held him to under 5 yards.
Scott County wins tonight. We'll be at Lafayette or here next week to bring you the regional championship. Scott County, a familiar name. They've been in 7 of the last 8 regional championship games and have won 6 of those. The only defeat was a few years ago to Mayo, right here at Toyota Stadium. Josh Davis on the quarterback keeper.
Wow.
A good job of containing there by Bryan Station. Number 10, Quentin Floyd, showing his athletic skill.
Tell you what, they got the one run, Josh's big run off that play in the first half. Bryan Station's done a good job of adjusting to it because it's not been there the last 3 times they've tried to run it.
So third and 14. Bryan Station had it third and 13 and went for a 78-yard pass. We'll see what Scott County can do right here. That's third and 13. Not a situation you want to be for any offense, Bryan Station or Scott County. This time it's Scott County's turn with 4:30 to go, clock moving. They're going to give it to Noah Hughes. Noah Hughes is going to get out to the 40-yard line, but Noah Hughes is going to be way short. So we're going to see what Coach McKee is going to do here. It's going to be 4th down and about 7.
I think you've got to flip the field.
And you're right. Looks like the punt team is coming out.
The 4th and 6, Scott County.
So back deep for Bryan Station, KC Carmichael and Raphael Few.
On the punt for Scott County, Davis.
Josh Davis punting for Scott County. Josh Davis, a couple of punts tonight. 13 punts coming in the ball game, averaging about 39 yards. Not quite the bounce he got the last time, but it's going to be down inside the 25-yard line. Trey Bender touches it with the right foot. It'll be 1st and 10 for Bryan Station. 3:37 to go. Scott County's defense did a great job the first 2 plays of the last possession. But the big play from Bryan Station got them within 3, and a chance for Andre Davis and his offense to take their first lead of the ball game. But Coach Monty McIntyre tells you, Mark, he's got something to say about that. We'll see what Scott County, see if they bring a little more pressure this time. Familiar set for Bryan Station. 2 receivers on each side. Devin Key in motion. Andre Davis. Keyshawn Brent
pressuring him. He gets around Keyshawn and hit by Bender and Braxton after picking up 4 yards. And that shows you right there, he actually circled around Keyshawn Brent. That's the quickness that he has.
Along with Bender. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
But, you know, Mike, if you're Bryan Station, you've got to feel pretty positive on that, because anything positive on first down is good for them. They just haven't been as successful tonight. Now, the last possession they were, and this possession, let's see what they can do here with
Devin Key on the tackle. Looks like he might have hurt that leg or something. Kind of weird going down. Hopefully he's okay. No gain. Short gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down and about 5.
Along with Abney.
Kendrick Hamilton, Eric Abney on the tackle. And Eric Abney up. Devin Key looks like he is hurt, so hopefully the young man's okay. We'll take a timeout. 2:39 to go. 3rd and 6. When we return here, Scott County up 21-18 over the Defenders. Back after this.
Time for oral surgery. You need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
United Bank, together with you. We offer all the services you're looking for in a financial institution: convenience, great accounts, internet banking, and attentive customer service. With today's hectic pace, it's good to know United Bank meets your needs with locations right where you need them. With 13 offices in Scott, Jessamine, Fayette, and Woodford counties, 24/7 access to cash at our branch ATMs, and the Bluegrass Cash locations in Lexington, United Bank is together with you. Member FDIC, Equal House.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Great sight right there. You can see on the camera Devin Key running off the field. You don't want to see anybody get hurt. Glad to see that man. He was hurt the last time Scott County played against Bryan Station. It's good to see him. He's still feeling a lot of pain, but the pride kicked in. He says, I'm running off the field. You're not going to help me.
Well, and it sends a little message to his teammates that, hey, I'm coming back, and, you know, get fired up.
So 3rd and 5, a 5-yard pickup by Devin Key on the last play. Casey Carmichael, Andre Davis tries to flip it to Carmichael, but defensive pressure right there. Tyler Braxton on the hurry for Scott County. 4th down and 5. What do you do here, Mark?
You know, Mike, it's a 3-point game. There's a lot of time in this football game. You got to flip the field position if you can.
Yeah, it's weird. You know, we see all season long, you know, we're not used to either team bringing in their punter. We've seen more punts tonight we've seen from either
2
team
years.
in a couple of years. But, like you say, it's playoff football, big plays.
Well, at this point, you've got to play the percentages, because you really put your team – you don't pick it up right here and you give the opposing team this kind of short field.
Yeah.
You just can't do that, not in the playoffs.
And Andrew Asbury's been doing a great job of kicking the ball high, and Dylan Smith's called more fair catches tonight than he has in his career.
That one's going to be short.
And KC Carmichael's going to catch it in the air at the 49-yard line.
I think he's having second thoughts about that.
I think that was a frustration. He didn't want to have to travel it and watch him pick it up and bounce and all that stuff. But that could have been a big play right there, Mark.
Well, yeah, I mean, that ball hits and bounces, then you know.
So Scott County 1 yard from being in Bryan Station territory. Bryan Station's defense has been stout here in the second half, but Scott County's defense has as well, except for the big play to Raphael Few. The only scorer of the second half. Davis's pass, 78 yards to Raphael Few. Scott County, 2:22 to go in the third quarter. Up 3, 21-18, and with the football 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Keith Guy in motion. There's the tight end pass over the middle. It is open. He's going to catch it at the 20, and he's going to come down at the 5-yard line, Mark. I hate to say I told you so, but...
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, and, you know, that's in the arsenal. You know you scout for it. You know you be watching it. and it's open every game.
And that's the success on first down. Noah Hughes is picking up 5, 6, 7, 8 yards, sometimes 10. I guarantee you that's all they were thinking about is Noah Hughes. And somehow Jordan Darnell, it doesn't matter who the tight end is, that play's been there for the last 5 or 6 years for Scott County. First and goal, Scott County. Quick play for them. They pick up 46 yards on that play. Noah Hughes is going to get roughed up a little bit and brought down after a pickup of 2. So second down and goal from about the 4-yard line, make the 3.5-yard line. Devin Key in there for Bryan Station. William Barber is trying to be the pullback coach. After the sideline warning, there's already been one warning. The second one will be a penalty. We don't want that.
He might have the toughest job of anybody in the place
I'm
tonight.
glad I ain't doing the pullback coach job with Coach McKee. Davis under center. Keith Guy in motion. Hand off to Kendrick Hamilton. Trey Bender with the block. Kendrick Hamilton with the run. 4-yard touchdown run. Kendrick Hamilton, and again, hats off to Scott County's Trey Bender. So Tyler Dummer in for the extra point attempt. Scott County lead up to 9. Chance to get it to double digits. 1:18 to go. Scott County answers offensively. Dummer's kick is up, and the kick is good. 1:18 to go. 28-18. Scott County with the lead. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back on the Scott County Sports Network. We'll be back right after this.
Sports Connection is your team and retail sporting goods and custom athletic apparel supplier. Sports Connection is located next to Kroger in the Washington Square Shopping Center in Georgetown. Sports Connection can outfit your team from hats to shoes and everything in between. Drop by or call Daryl, Scott, or Jessica at 502-570-0280. Sports Connection, a proud sponsor and athletic and sporting goods supplier to Scott County and Georgetown College athletics.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Special shout out to the Scott County Marching Band and the Scott County Cheerleaders and dance team here to support the team tonight. Don't have our team physician with us, so Tyler Dummer set the kickoff with the neon yellow shoes. Raphael Few back along with Carmichael for Bryan Station at the 5-yard line. 3 or 4 kickoffs in the end zone. This one here is going to be fielded at the 1. Here comes Carmichael for Bryan Station. Dylan Smith with the tackle for Scott County.
Nice job
out to
there.
The 25-yard line. First down for Bryan Station.
Bryce Fryman along with Dylan Smith on the tackle.
Bryce Fryman in there to help as well. Called his name about 3 times on special teams tonight. First and 10 for Bryan Station. Andre Davis going option to Carmichael. Carmichael out of bounds. Gavin Hernandez. No, excuse me, Devin Key. Good to see him back in the ball game. He's the carrier, picks up 5 yards.
And Mike, again, big possession, but you're getting ready to third quarter winding down. Clock's going to come into play here for Bryan Station.
Under a minute to go. Scott County 28, Bryan Station 18. Winner advances. Loser puts up the pads for the season. That's playoff football in the state of Kentucky. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Here comes the pressure. Trey Brender with a lot of pressure, a loss of 7 yards, and the offensive coordinator for Bryan Station not happy at all.
Yeah, that was a jailhouse break, boys. They had about 3 red jerseys that weren't touched.
They decided they weren't going to worry about the 3 defenders down here. Trey Bender, full all-out blitz. Big play. And we're going to the fourth quarter. Scott County. It'll be 3rd and 11. We return. Scott County 28, Bryan Station 18 here on the Scott County Sports Network. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the commercial from Frank Shoup and friends, and we'll be back right after this.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoup in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
He's big on service and he's big on deals. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoup's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoup is gonna set the pace.
Georgetown means great cars, great local sports, great people, and Galvin's, a great place where friends meet for great Galvin's food. Galvin's voted the best local restaurant in Georgetown. Enjoy a great specialty sandwich from Philly cheesesteaks to Strombolis. Bring the whole family. Watch the big games on the big screens. You'll watch the game. We'll make the munchies like our signature pizzas and home-cut potato chips. Galvin's on Main Street next to the courthouse. Join us on Facebook for all the latest Galvin's.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. We start the fourth quarter. Scott County up 10, 28-18. Scott County had Bryan Station in about the same predicament here in their last possession, with Bryan Station able to hit the big play. So third down and 11. Andre Davis, Devin Key in the backfield for Bryan Station. Davis back to pass. He throws it out there, hits Bernard. Bernard with the catch. Cooper Robb with the tackle. Pickup of 24 yards, first down, Bryan Station, and the drive stays alive.
Don't think Bryan Station wants to give up just yet, Mike.
First down catch, Desmond Bernard, a 5'10" junior wide receiver with the big catch. Devin Key up the middle. He gets off his feet, runs over Cooper Robb, and then on the tackle is Eric Abney after a pickup of 17 yards. He went through the line. He got up off his feet.
He just kind of jumped up on top of them, and as they kind of slid down the other side.
Good run by Devin Key of Bryan Station. Pickup of 17 yards. Devin Key again running hard. Good job of Scott County defensively right there. Gavin Hernandez, James Happy on the tackle. Pickup of 2 yards.
Tackle by Happy, along with Braxton.
11:20 to go. 28-18. Bryan Station offense has found a little bit of a rhythm here. And there's an offside. The third offside penalty of the night.
Monty McIntyre not happy, Mike.
And Mark, as Bill Needle always says, it's not when.
Not how many you get, it's when you get them.
It's when you get them.
Wonder what the Needle's doing tonight.
I know what I wish he was doing. I wish he was right here. It's a whole lot better broadcast when he's here. And I kind of miss him. Second down and a short 2. They're going to give it to Devin Key. Devin Key is met, and he's going to be short. It's going to be fourth down and 1.
Bender on the tackle.
Trey Bender on the tackle for Scott County with Kendrick Hamilton.
Gain of 1. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Make it 3rd and 1. Excuse me. Dave Burgess told me it was 3rd down last play. So 3rd and short for Bryan Station. Andre Davis with the quarterback keeper. He's hit right at the 25-yard line by Eric Abney.
And Kendrick Hamilton.
Kendrick Hamilton. They're going to give him enough for the first down.
He paid for that one, though.
It's going to be 1st and 10 inside the 25-yard line. Kendrick Hamilton looked like he was shot out of a gun.
2 for a first down, Bryan Station.
So 10-19 to go. Bryan Station down 10, but moving. Andre Davis back with 5 receivers out. Cooper Robb tries to get there, but Bernard with the touchdown catch.
And you got to say wow on that pass. I mean, that was a rope.
Desmond Bernard.
They play number 25 yards, resulting in a Bryan Station touchdown.
So Bryan Station not giving up. Desmond Bernard with the touchdown from 20 yards out, or 24 yards out. Going for the two-point conversion, down 4. Davis back, pass into the end zone, out the back again. He had a wide-open receiver over right at the goal line. Didn't see him. Instead, he throws the ball out of the end zone, and Scott County up 4, 28-24, 10 minutes to go. We'll take a timeout. 10:08 to go here on the Scott County Sports Network. Steve Skierman, agency manager at the Scott County Farm Bureau Insurance, would like you to know that as your local insurance agent, he is right here in your community, ready to help you with all your insurance needs. In the event of a loss, you can count on Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance to help you through it. We have local claims adjusters to serve you at your time of loss. We are knowledgeable about our community and can provide valuable assistance and advice when needed. Call the office today at 502-863-2454 for a free, no-obligation quote. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, big on commitment. Georgetown Community Hospital is a 75-bed acute care facility with an award-winning history providing excellence in health care. Georgetown has been named one of the best places to work in Kentucky for 5 of the last 6 years. The hospital continues to add new medical services and to grow the number of specialists and primary care physicians. It also features an award-winning ICU, medical surgery unit, and 24-hour emergency services. Georgetown Hospital, located on Lexington Road in... Here's the kick from Bryan Station, a line drive kick. Keith Guy at the 6-yard line. Keith Guy's got some room. Keith Guy, full head of steam north and south, and he's going to get down to the 45-yard line. What a run by Scott County's Keith Guy. Great to see that.
And he wanted that ball, Mike.
So Scott County starts the possession 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line. Big possession right here from Scott County offensively.
Yeah, you need to answer here, Mike. Put some points on the board.
Well, the thing you don't, and credit to Bryan Station, you don't want their offense to have the football at the end of the ball game with a chance to score and win. Noah Hughes. He's going to pick up 3. Romel Crowley on the tackle for Bryan Station. 2nd down and 8. Clock is moving. And again, we talk about Coach McKee all the time and his clock management. He does a great job, and his team is prepared. And it's awful nice to have that play clock running here in front of you here in a college stadium.
Yeah, you're spoiled here playing at Georgetown Stadium.
Kendrick Hamilton behind the blockers. Out there is Trey Bender. Hamilton's going to pick up right at the 1st down marker. We're going to see if they give it to him or not.
And Mike
Fisher's going to say 1st down.
That's just unfair. William Mitchell, 5'10", 155-pound sophomore cornerback for Bryan Station, gets caught, not for the first time tonight, multiple times, trying to shed the block of Trey Bender, a 5'11", 235-pound senior. That's just not a fair fight.
So 1st down and 10 on Scott County. They've already got into Bryan Station's territory here. 9:17 to go, 28-14. Davis, handoff up the middle to Noah Hughes. Noah Hughes just bouncing off of people. And Mark, he gets it down to the inside the 30-yard line. And I go back and I think if you look at that replay, he probably got touched by 9 Bryan Station defenders before he goes down. Pick up a 16-yard line. 16 yards, 1st down, and Scott County has an injured player on the field. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. 1st and 10, Scott County, 9:10 to go on the Scott County Sports Network.
The Hawkinsmith Agency is proud to call Scott County home. We're your Main Street insurance that blends tradition and innovation to offer the best quality service to our clients. By offering a wide range of coverage from the impressive list of major insurance companies, we truly meet your insurance coverage needs. Come visit us at 224 East Main in Georgetown or online at hawkinsmithagency.com. The Hawkinsmith Agency, providing coverage for the Motorist Insurance Group for all your insurance needs.
People's Exchange Bank doesn't think you can get where you want to go by cutting corners, playing games, or sacrificing relationships. Roots take time to grow and give strength and stability. Since 1912, our banks and our people have been part of your community. And while our services continue to keep pace with your need for today's high-tech conveniences, we know that loyalty never grows old. You don't just need...
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Coach McKee not happy as Kendrick Hamilton was helped off the field. He walked off on his own power, but again, Coach McKee not happy. Scott County, 1st and 10. Keith Guy with the football, and a good job defensively. Keith Guy right there hit by K.C. Carmichael.
That was a good tackle by Carmichael. He hit him right in the thighs and wrapped up good.
Loss of a yard, actually. 2nd down and 11, Scott County.
Mike, they're still walking Kendrick Hamilton along the sideline.
Loss of 3. It'll be 2nd and 13.
2nd down and 13. Actually, a loss of 3 yards on the play. Davis over the middle. Glenn Covington up and get it. Great catch by Glenn Covington down to the 2-yard line. And again, Glenn Covington, if we get close to him, he's going to catch it. And Mark, they actually had Dylan Smith in the flats as well. But a good throw and an even better catch by Glenn Covington. 1st and goal, Scott County.
Well, I'm just going to tell you, Mike, I don't know that I've seen, especially a freshman, have the kind of hands that Glenn Covington has.
So 1st and goal, 8 minutes to go. Clock is ticking. Scott County trying to extend the lead. Josh Davis to Noah Hughes. That equals touchdown for Scott County. Scott County's Noah Hughes, Mark. That's his 3rd touchdown of the night, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a big score. Yeah, he had 2 through 3, Mike. 141 yards on the night.
So Tyler Dummer in to kick. Eric Abney with the hold for Scott County. Alex Miller, the short snapper. Snap is down, kick is up, and it's good. 35-24 is your score. Scott County perfect on extra points. Bryan Station yet to convert an extra point tonight, so 7:52 to go. We'll take a timeout here. You're watching Scott County playoff football exclusively on the Scott County Sports Network. Back after this.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoup in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
He's big on service and he's big on deals. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoup's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoup is gonna set the pace.
Becomes a factor now.
I'm sorry. Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. 7:52 to go. Bryan Station finds themselves down 11, so there's a 3-possession game, or 2-possession game, but it's going to take a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and a field goal for Bryan Station to tie this game up. And Mark, time left, 7:52. Bryan Station running out of time here.
Well, and that's the big key, Mike. That's the. They have big play capability, but they're going to have to use it because the clock is becoming as big a factor as Scott County.
Raphael Few on the return. Cooper Robb does a great job of not losing contain. Bryan Station will have the football 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
At the end of 3 periods of play, Lafayette 21, Henry Clay 21.
So Henry Clay making a comeback, according to the PA announcer here at Scott County, is now tied up at 21. Lafayette 21, Henry Clay 21 after 3 over in Lexington. Right here in Georgetown, 35-24, Scott County up 11, 7:24 to go in the ball game. Andre Davis with the football in his hands, and Scott County, James Happy with Davis in his.
Davis on the quarterback keeper.
So it's going to be a loss of 3 yards. That'll be another tackle for loss for Jeremiah Happy. That's his 7th tackle for loss on the season. So Bernard and Murphy here at the bottom of the screen. Davis.
And he's open.
Throwing it up, and Bernard is open again.
That play is open all night.
And Bryce Fryman comes from behind to make the tackle, but the pickup is going to be good for about 30 yards.
You could see that opening because he was coming right to us, and he got in between. Looked like the zone defense too deep, and perfect pass by Davis.
So Davis back to pass again. 1st and 10.
Better get rid of it.
Scott County had 3 defenders back there, but
and he gets away. How does he get away?
Finally, Dylan Smith with the tackle, but he picks up 14, and Andre Davis.
Just a great athletic play, Mike.
Heck of a football player we're seeing here tonight. Bunch of good football players, Mark, to be honest, though, on both sides.
Yeah, it's been a great football game, Mike. It has really been a great football game. Now, an interesting timeout here by Scott County.
Timeout,
Mike.
Scott County defensively with the lead, 35-24. Bryan Station in Scott County territory, 6:32 to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back on the Scott County Sports Network.
The Shanghai Express Chinese Restaurant is a locally owned restaurant located in the Indian Acres Shopping Center in Georgetown, Kentucky. Tony would like to invite everyone to come on by and dine in the spacious dining room that can host groups both small and large. Shanghai Express has been voted the best Chinese restaurant in Georgetown, Kentucky multiple years in a row by the Georgetown News Graphic. Stop by the restaurant or give Tony a call at 502-868-6858 to enjoy the best Chinese food in Central Kentucky.
Sports Connection is your team and retail sporting goods and custom athletic apparel supplier. Sports Connection is located next to Kroger in the Washington Square Shopping Center in Georgetown. Sports Connection can outfit your team from hats to shoes and everything in between. Drop by or call Daryl, Scott, or Jessica at 502-570-0280. Sports Connection, a proud sponsor and athletic and sporting goods supplier to Scott County and Georgetown College athletics.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Scott County's defensive coordinator, Monty McIntyre, out talking to his team. Head coach Jim McKee still talking to the officials about something. But Scott County up 11, 6:32 to go, but Bryan Station not done by any means. Andre Davis. Quick hitch out to Bernard, a little bit wide. Bryce Fryman right there on the coverage. Excuse me, the pass was intended for Terrence Murphy.
Davis's pass intended for Clayton Murphy. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
So 2nd down and 10 coming up. Andre Davis with the snap, rolls left, and he's got a lot of room. He stops. Typically, he's going to go. Good play by Cooper Robb and interception by Bryce Fryman. And Bryce Fryman's bringing it out, and he's got tons of speed, and he's got blockers in front of him. Bryce Fryman still not down. He's going to have to get past the big guy. Keyshawn Brent's trying to make the block. Keyshawn Brent said he's too big for me, and Bryce Fryman runs all the way from the end zone all the way back inside Bryan Station territory.
But you got a flag back here on the 26-yard line, Mike. You know, you have to look at that, and you understand the young man's trying to get to the end zone off that, but he had a ton of green space in front of him to pick up the first down. You've really got to look and say, you know, why did he just not run the football? It's going to take a little while to get all these players back down to this end of the field so we can get a play. It's going to have to be, I would think, an illegal block in the back by Scott County.
Picked off by Bryan of Scott County.
Block in the back, Scott County. The ball is going to be pushed back to about the 16-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Scott County on the 16-yard line with a little over 6 minutes to go in the game. 35-24, Scott County.
And if you're a Bryan Station fan, Mark, you got to say, well, it was a big penalty, but getting the ball, Scott County having to start at the 16-yard line versus the other team's 25, that still gives them a chance, doesn't it?
Well, it is, and like I said, you know the young man was trying to score, and he throws the pass, but he had a ton of green. He could have picked up the first down running the football. So when he sees that game film, that's going to be kind of tough because, like I said, he could have picked up the first down. You're probably looking at first and 10 at least at the 15, maybe 10-yard line.
So Scott County, Josh Davis back here getting ready to get under center, and he'll be very, very patient with 6:05 to go. Scott County with the football and the ball in the hands of Dylan Smith, who's in there for Kendrick Hamilton. Kind of got upset and injured earlier in the football game. It's going to be a pickup of 5 yards.
Dylan Smith on the carry. Wrapped up by Preston.
And 5:43 to go. Of course, this is going to be 2nd and 5. You know, at some point, Bryan Station needs to look at
using those 3 timeouts. And Scott County, again, they're very, very patient. They'll run that clock down to 20, or down 5 seconds left to go.
I'm sure I wouldn't have tried to make my stand right here, Mike.
Yep. So Scott County's defense coming up with the big play. Cooper Robb with the tip. Bryce Fryman with the interception on the deflection. And Noah Hughes with another first down for Scott County.
Big.
And then, like we said, we thought Lafayette had their game in hand. However, Henry Clay's come back to tie that sucker up. So Scott County still interested in who they might play if they're able to hold on here tonight. We'll do a little investigative reporting using the iPad and Bluegrass Preps to see if we can get an up-to-minute update here. Josh Davis, 7 seconds left to go, 4:49 to go in the ball game. Here's the snap. Noah Hughes.
Another first
Give
down.
him another first down. Noah Hughes. They're going to say he's probably about a half yard short. But if Bryan Station has any hopes whatsoever of coming back in this football game, the first thing they need to do, Mark, is what?
Stop the fullback dive.
So Louisville Central beats Bull County, Mark, 27-14. Ryle and Simon Kenton, that's the game everybody's interested because that's the regional championship from our district. Goes and plays the regional champion out of the Northern Kentucky district. And in the third quarter, trying to see if I can get a score here. 27-17, Simon Kenton and Noah Hughes. 2nd and short. He's going to get out inside Bryan Station territory. And they don't have an answer for Noah Hughes, Mark.
No, and you can bet that that's all you're going to see until they can figure out how to stop it. Because at this point, the clock is running. And Scott County's just eating up first down after first down.
So Trinity beats St. X 34-7. Manual gets beat by Male handily 36-0. Let's see if we can get an update for the Henry Clay Lafayette game here. Generals go back in front 27-21. Missed the point after attempt with 8:34 to go in the game. That could turn out to be huge. And Noah Hughes,
he took a shot right there. But again, he's 4 yards, 5 yards.
Great hit right there by Jamel Bell. And timeout for Bryan Station. So 3:29 to go. Scott County in full clock management mode. That means a full dose and helping of Noah Hughes. 3:29 to go. 35-24. We'll take a timeout on the Scott County Sports Network.
Community Hospital is a 75-bed acute care facility with an award-winning history providing excellence in health care. Georgetown has been named one of the best places to work in Kentucky for 5 of the last 6 years. The hospital continues to add new medical services and to grow the number of specialists and primary care physicians. It also features an award-winning ICU, medical surgery unit, and 24-hour emergency services. Georgetown Hospital, located on Lexington Road in Georgetown, Kentucky. Here for your needs 24 hours a day.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Bryan Station using those timeouts. They're down to 2. Scott County has 2 as well. But I guarantee you if things hold up, Scott County will leave those in their pocket. They won't use those. Again, like we said, Mark, 27-21, Lafayette just scored to go up. But they missed that point after attempt. 8 minutes to go in the ball game.
That could come back to haunt them. A lot of time left in that football game.
So, again, if Scott County holds on to win, they will have to make the trip to Lafayette to play Lafayette Generals next week. If Henry Clay beats Lafayette, then Henry Clay gets to make a trip to Scott County. Henry Clay, longtime coach, a Scott County native, Sam Simpson. Quick pitch to Keith Guy on the left side. Keith Guy stays in bounds and gets down to the 36-yard line.
Tackle by Markham.
Markham with the tackle for Bryan Station. Joshua Markham, 6-foot junior linebacker. Another first down for Scott County. Scott County needs 1, maybe 2 more first downs, and this ball game is over. Davis snaps it with 2 seconds to go on the play clock, and Noah Hughes is carrying defenders down to the 21-yard line. Another first down for Scott County.
Just do not have an answer for him, Mike.
So Scott County's coaches up in the box have found something going on here, and they probably modified the offensive line blocking scheme just a little bit. And Bryan Station can't stop Noah Hughes. So we have another time management situation going on here. They'll get that figured out. Again, Mark, you got to be impressed with Scott County tonight. They pretty much well-oiled machine. They've done what they've had to offensively, and then what we've seen over Scott County over the years, especially since Monty McIntyre has been the defensive coordinator, they make big plays.
Well, yeah, and like I said, to be honest, you've got to give Bryan Station credit. They've come in and played better than what the score indicated from the first game.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got to like how Scott County answered each challenge. Every time they got challenged and Bryan Station got close, Scott County was able to come back and counterpunch and make the answer. And that's what you want to see as a coach going into the playoffs. You want to be able to know that your team can come back from adversity.
So 2:45 to go, 35-24. They've actually stopped the use of the 25-second clock. But Coach McKee keeps a stopwatch around his neck, so that's not a big deal if you're Scott County. He'll key in to Josh Davis. Josh Davis snaps it, gives it to Noah Hughes. Noah Hughes picks up 5 yards. Let's make it second down and call it 6. Actually, Mark, let's call it 5. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5, Scott County.
So basically what Coach McKee's doing is when he gives Josh Davis the play, he waits for the white hat to signal the play starting, and he actually gives him a number on the clock, says, I want you to snap it here. So Scott County 1 first down or 1 score away from this ball game being over. Noah Hughes, he's going north, south, and left and right. Noah Hughes is going to get into the end zone
for his 4th
16-yard touchdown run. Noah Hughes, 4th touchdown of the night.
And there is a flag.
With a flag on the play.
You're going to have to think. You would think that's excessive celebration, but I don't see didn't see anything out of the ordinary for Scott County, unless there was something said.
So Scott County beat Bryan Station earlier in the season 40-24. Right now it's 41-24, and an extra point attempt coming up. So it is going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against Scott County. That'll be assessed on the kickoff. So Tyler Dummer in to remain perfect. He's 6 of 6 tonight, trying to go. I'm sorry, he's 5 of 5 on the night.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
So Dummer waiting for the hold from Abney. The kick is up. And the kick is good. 1:36 to go. Scott County pretty much puts this one out of reach. It's 41-22. We'll be back for the rest of the ball game. Devils, Mark, the Blue Devils just scored a touchdown and extra point.
So they
take the lead 28-27 with 5:14 to go.
Wow.
And while we got a second here, let's go ahead and look at that replay. What a nice run from Scott County's Noah Hughes, 16-yard variety. You see it's a normal setup for Scott County. Josh Davis hands the handoff to Noah Hughes. He goes up the gut. Then for uncharacteristically, he bounces it outside, reaches for the end zone, and a heck of a run by Scott County's workhorse, Noah Hughes. And, Mark, that touchdown was Scott County's Noah Hughes.
Yes. Well, yeah.
And, again, you stop and you say, you look at it, we've seen it for about 8 years now, calling the games. You say, how in the world can you not stop that play? But there has to be some wrinkle that they're doing there, either disguising it or something, but that play has worked regardless of what number and who's been running the football for the last 10 years for Scott County.
Well, you know, what it does, though, Mike, I mean, it forces you, you know, if you like to play that 3-4, it forces you to put the guys in the box, and then as soon as you do that, if you've got speed at the other halfback positions, then all of a sudden you can't cover east to west big enough. I mean, it's just a great problem to have if you're Scott County. Because you just, you know, the old adage is you always take what the defense gives you no matter what sport, and that's basically what he does.
Got 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. Means Dummer's kicking off from the 25. The kick is going to be fielded at the 20-yard line. And on the tackle,
I believe that's Gabe Hobson.
Number 10, Gabe Hobson. So Bryan Station with 1:28 to go, down 42-24. And we're going to have a timeout, Scott County. So we'll take a timeout as well on the Scott County Sports Network. We'll be back right after this.
The Hockensmith Agency is proud to call Scott County home. We're your Main Street insurance that blends tradition and innovation to offer the best quality service to our clients. By offering a wide range of coverage from the impressive list of major insurance companies, we truly meet your insurance coverage needs. Come visit us at 224 East Main in Georgetown or online at HockensmithAgency.com. The Hockensmith Agency, providing coverage for the Motorist Insurance Group for all your insurance needs.
People's Exchange Bank doesn't think you can get where you want to go by cutting corners, playing games, or sacrificing relationships. Roots take time to grow and give strength and stability. Since 1912, our banks and our people have been part of your community. And while our services continue to keep pace with your need for today's high-tech conveniences, we know that loyalty never grows old. You don't just need a bank, you need people. People's Exchange Bank. People serving people since...
Welcome back on the carry. Bryan Station's number 25, Chris Jones.
And I think, Mike, if I'm not mistaken, is that a new quarterback in the game?
Yeah, looks like they've got their JV team in. Kind of calling off the dogs a little bit. Tyler Braxton with the tackle. Coach Monty McIntyre is going to call a timeout. Get his JV defense out there as well. And again, Mark, that's the way it's supposed to be done. The team that's behind puts in their JV, and then the team with the lead. And typically, that's where you get the confusion and the people being upset is when the team that's winning puts in their JV, and then the other team keeps their varsity in, and it gets a little bit lopsided. So, again, very nice round of applause for Scott County's varsity team as they will advance with 1:07 to go, up 42-24. And it's going to be interesting to see right here who they play, as Henry Clay, like I said a few minutes ago, just scored with 5:14 to go to take the lead, 28-27. But, Mark, with Walker Wood and that running back they got at Lafayette. Allstat, they've got a lot of time.
Nice story about him on Kentucky.com today. Brother and father serving in the National Guard, watching via the internet and electronic devices. So, wish them well. Thank them for everything that they do for us.
So on the carry is Jones. Jones is going to break it open and brought down by Scott County's number 80, Ryan Lohr. But he gets inside the 20-yard line. And, Mark, just an update. The Generals throw a 58-yard, have a 58-yard touchdown run with a 2-point conversion good. They go back up 35-28.
Bryan Station.
And Devontae Robinson says here, probably shouldn't report this, but they say he was helped off the field. So we'll wait and see if that's how severe his injury is. So Bryan Station has the football with the tackle for Scott County, Nicholas Hickey. Jones on the carry, and he's going to get a loss of a yard as Nicholas Hickey gets credit for a tackle for a loss. 34 seconds to go. Bryan Station's JV team trying to get a score here. Here's the pass up.
Oh, nice adjustment.
And a good catch there by Terrence Murphy. As Thompson thought he had position, but Murphy just comes up and goes around him, and Bryan Station's going to score with 18.4 seconds to go.
That play covers 20 yards, resulting in a Bryan Station touchdown.
So 42-30 is your score. Still waiting to find out who Scott County is going to play next week. Jalen Burbage. Pass is incomplete. So, Mark, while we got a second, again, we'll say a shout-out to our good buddies, Dr. Rob Henderson over at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery, Frank Shoup Chevrolet, Art Morvay, Lynn Reeves at Scott County Physical Therapy. They've been there with us from day one. Dr. Robert Henderson has been with us for about 4 years without them, along with Frank Shoup. There's no way in the world we'd be able to bring you the broadcast here. Something we enjoy doing and hope you enjoy as well, watching Scott County Athletics. And speaking of that, Mark, Bath County comes to Scott County on Sunday. First scrimmage of the season for the boys team. And actually the girls team has their Hoops Fest or whatever. I can't remember exactly what they call it. But they have that tonight and tomorrow at the high school as well. So if you want to watch high school basketball, Scott County style, check out the girls tonight and tomorrow. And come back and check out the boys against Bath County.
Yeah, Mike, it should be interesting. I mean, Scott County is going to be fairly young on the basketball side of it this year, but I think by district tournament time, they'll be in pretty good shape.
So Scott County bringing out their kick return team.
It's like the hands team, Mike.
And really, it's a good opportunity to work on this. Here comes the Bryan Station kick. It's going to be a squib kick. Picked up by Scott County. We'll get you the number here in a second. Noah Kane with the quarterback slide. 13.9 seconds to go. We'll have one more snap, and Scott County will advance to 12-1 on the season. Bryan Station will fall and end their season on a losing note. Their final record will be 7-5. Good job by Bryan Station. And a good year for them and their head coach, Frank Park.
With a win tonight, Scott County will play the winner of Lafayette and Henry Clay next Friday night here at the stadium.
So again, if Lafayette were to win the football game, we'll travel to Lafayette next week. And the best formation in all of football, Scott County is going to advance. They'll get to the region finals. Usual territory for Scott County. The final score of 42-30. Good game by both teams. Scott County just forced Bryan Station to blink one or two more times. The big turnover on the pass that was tipped by Cooper Robb and intercepted by Bryce Fryman was pretty much the nail in the coffin. And Scott County able to go down and score and to win in the ball game. Like we say, we'll be here next week. We'll either be here at Scott County to play Henry Clay, or we'll be over at Lafayette to play the Generals for the region championship. So from our broadcast partner, the Governor Mark Walls, for Dave Burgess running camera, Kevin Ritchie running computer, I'm Mike Ritchie, and we're the Scott County Sports Network. Glad you could join us. We'll see you next week, same time here on the Scott County Sports Network. Have a good evening.